fuck you!
You're scared. And you should be.
This is not your company anymore.
Leave the cheek of CM Punk.
Out! Combo move! This is what they've been doing! Hey, McAfee!
Everyone shut the up and sit down!
We got a mom in the front row who taught her daughter how to suck dick!
I'm Mina Shirakawa. I used to be a model. I want to put on a big show.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the Saturday Shenanigans, hosted by yours truly, the Renegade J.J. Williams. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. CM Punk drama bullshit to the side. I still consider Hangman the worst AEW champion they've had. First of all, we're going to bring in Walter Cruz.
I said that as a joke when, what's his name, did his promo Monday. He said, I'm from a prestige university. I said he majored in Steiner math.
We've got the Heb man, James Hebert, in the house.
I do really cool and dumb things on the internet.
Right. A lot of shit going on here. A lot of fucking crazy ass shit.
Where is Noah JD? Well, say his name and he appears because we believe in Noah Foster.
Fuck is this intro? It is one of those things where as fans we do have these desires of what we want to see, but sometimes you can't always get what you want, and there are reasons you truly don't get what you want. I wouldn't even listen to this in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. What the fuck is this shit? God, rap is whack. Like I said, never been a greater time to be a wrestling fan than with more companies in a more lucrative spot, in a more comfortable business spot, in a sense of mind, it seems, than ever. Again, WWE is not the only one. It is not the end-all, be-all. So let's go back to the Renegade Wrestling J.J. Williams to get the official word. JJ, speak!
Make sure you tune in every week because you never know who's going to drop in to join the shenanigans. Catboy is in the house.
Hello, my internet family. I say if you want to make them as evil as possible, make them really mad.
We have Mansfield joining the party now. What is going on, Josh?
Like I told no one when we were in Cleveland, him joining JC was just an unfortunate side effect of my shenanigans towards you, JJ. I know how it can get better, Noah. The panel chooses you.
Shut the fuck up, Josh.
He said that so like.
We got some of the intro back.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just like how you and I had lunch together the other week.
That was different.
Ladies and gentlemen, the King is here. Say his name and he appears. We believe in King A-Train. There are so many believers in Joe Hendry. The only person on this panel that doesn't believe in Joe Hendry is King A-Train. Tell the world why you do not believe in Joe Hendry.
The reason I do not believe Joe Hendry is he is Fandango 2.0 in a entrance merchant. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Hey! There's nothing wrong with being an entrance merchant. He has some of the best entrances of all time.
Teleporting into the command center, all the way from Angel Grove High, Datilla.
Oh, yeah. I went to the command center on Thursday. I went to Vasquez Rocks, which is where they filmed a lot of episodes. Somebody actually climbed to the very top of those rocks. I made it halfway. I was like, I'm not going up there. Definitely Toni Storm versus Mariah May. That's the one match I probably am looking forward to the most. I really like the story. I'm familiar with all about Eve, so if it plays out that way, I kind of know how this is gonna go.
Say goodnight, Datilla.
Good night.
James, you did say his name. So he shall appear, ladies and gentlemen, first time on the Shenanigans. Jeff Meacham is in the motherfucking house.
Ah! All right, we're coming in hard with the botch. All right, fucking hell. It's good to be back. It's good to have an opportunity to talk to the crowd on a Saturday.
If you want to have yourself stomach through it, you can go back and watch when the Main Event Mafia took over Impact. That's what James was talking about.
So if everybody just joined us, we're talking about people sedating people, attempted murder, boys, and tips. Welcome to Saturday Shenanigans, everybody. Aren't you glad I'm back?
Welcome back, Jeff.
Cool.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back once again to the weekly moderated conversation of wrestling madness. That is the Saturday Shenanigans. I am, for now, your host with the most unrest, to say the least, but damn it, we still do this thing anyways. My BS alert, by the way, is at 0, so you know who you are in the chat room, and you also know who you are in this panel. Don't piss me off. But for now, I am your host, Noah Foster. Good to see everybody, of course, on a Saturday night. Hope everyone's doing all right. I am tired as F. Fat Matt, good to see you. We got a gaggle of fools, clowns, buffoons, Canadian connections, renegades, and other glorious people you've come to know here at the Super Lava Studios. Let's go ahead and bring in the clown posse, shall we? First and foremost, the least clown that I know. He is reliable. He is also more tired than me. We called Crown Jewel at a stupid early time this morning. It's Mr. Reliable himself, Walter Cruz. Walter, we are the tired, super reliable panel tonight, at least the two of us. But seriously, how are you?
I'm okay. My shirt, truer words have never been spoken.
You know, I don't wear t-shirts, but I actually might ask you where you bought that, because I might buy that myself, because I live that 24/7, 365 all the time, but I still make it work to a degree. So again, it's all right. All right, well, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's go ahead and bring in the rest of the idiots in. First and foremost, he's a creature of unknown habit that does really cool and dumb things on the internet. What is a Hebert? I don't know, but this is a guy that I've come to call a friend and tolerate him. The only one I know that lives on the Hebert side of things, James Hebert, who just got done calling GCW, is in the house. James, how are you?
Traumatized and tired. I'm with you guys.
You call it GCW, and it's a Saturday night on the East Coast. That sounds about right. All right, fair enough. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and keep this party going. First and foremost, I mean no ill will towards this person, because she actually is the least clown woman I know on the internet, and she's yours. She's mine. She's our Canadian friend, Ash. Hello, Ash. How are you this evening?
I'm good.
All right. Cheers to you. Simply put, nice and subtle. Well, you got Tim Hortons or your coffee. I appreciate your brew.
Just a regular iced coffee.
Okay. Iced coffee. Nothing wrong with that, especially on a nice, cool autumn evening, as it has been. Well, one have the Canadian connection to the other. What's his order tonight? I don't know. Whether it's Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's, A&W, or Baskin-Robbins, or something else I don't even know. Poutine not included. But, of course, he is my AEW partner at times in commentary, Nicholas Frontes. Nick, how are you this evening?
What the fuck? Hello?
Oh!
Yep. Sounds about right. Got to give the people what they want, and it's whatever. Hello. All right. Good deal. Canada, what? Indeed, has Jamboree.
What is on your face?
Coca-Cola and a 5 o'clock shadow. All right. That's enough of that. And last but not least, because I'm not going to waste any more time, he is the original host. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a damn what happens in this thing. 2.5 hours. That's goodbye and good night. Bang. But in the meantime, please welcome, let's see how well it holds up, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. JJ, how are you? I know that you are in different parts unknown this evening to take care of your mentality, and I completely encourage that. How are you?
I am doing well. It looks like Nick was inspired by cocaine here, James. I think that's what's going on.
Oh, that's the joke.
Honey, where's the flower? You been hanging with Tony Khan a little too much?
No,
we just did the GCW, JCW Juggalo War Games match, and cocaine is one of their wrestlers. So it's a Kane knockoff. Why does the loop keep running, y'all?
That's strike one. All right, fair enough.
Cocaine is one of their wrestlers. It's a Kane gimmick ripoff, but he's high on cocaine. He actually uses an 8-ball.
So he must be the white cane because there's a blue cane. I know all the canes. Green cane.
Yes,
This is
cane
cocaine.
The cane of Teletubbies.
I'm sure there's less of that on the Sherman-Williams paint scale. All right, fair enough. Well, that being said, folks, that's the Clown Posse for tonight. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. We want to dictate the conversation. Super chatter, PayPal at Passion. It's truly as simple as that. And thank you, Jamboree Safet and Matt Hounds, for tuning in as always and lending your voices also in the chat. All right, without further ado, panelists and Simulable Studios community, Shenanigans, Dolores, first times and ongoing. Let's go ahead and get the right bleeping into it. So what we want to talk about, we're going to talk about professional wrestling, damn it, because I'm the host and I said so. But also, JD actually put wrestling on the itinerary, so nice job. You actually gave me something I approve of. So, of course, we've covered a lot of shows this week, so we're just going to start right down the line, and we're going to start with Tuesday night. We're going to start with a show that felt like a pay-per-view. AEW. It was AEW Homecoming from Daily's Place, of course. We had 2 TV matches and further hyping the Wrestle Dream, including more matches made. The return of a tag team along with a callback when the Elite tried to change the world. Broke Bucks, of course, that are desperate now for a big money match. And we also had a very tense face-to-face with Samoa Joe and Hangman Page ahead of the AEW World Championship. Now, usually what we do, we go like right for the horn like that, but I'm the host and don't feel like doing that for the next hour and a half, all right? So again, this Tuesday night, we of course called AEW DAMMIT Homecoming. It was me and Walter, I believe, because Nick called AEW with me last week. So Walter, Hangman Page, Samoa Joe, contract signing. Let's talk about that first and foremost, because of course, 1 week from today, will definitely be more hype because we'll be calling the show during Saturday night, not the damn morning, Australian time.
Wasn't a contract signing? They were just kind of getting their feelings off, weren't they?
A little bit, but either way, I'm excited for Wrestle Dream, and you already know why, because I'm all foot for life, and this card looks incredible. Of course, Samoa Joe's talking about how he lost himself, but he needs to remind himself exactly who he is. Everything Heyman said was true, and of course, it's the first time ever one-on-one for the AEW World Championship, as Joe has, of course, already beaten Hangman Page. Hangman has it, but Heyman says it's not your view of me that matters outside the ring. It's what happened when the bell freaking rings. Very subtle position by both champion and challenger, and I'm looking quite forward towards the AEW World Championship match.
What are you doing, you banana?
Fewer words were never spoken when Hangman spoke. When he said that shit, it was true. It was for real. What the fuck, Nick? I'm online.
Okay.
Put my light on.
What the fuck are you doing, you bananas?
You banana.
She called you a banana, dude.
What the hell are you playing? You playing DK Bonanza over there?
Can you not correct
I have to stop for a second. Dude, with every passing week, I love your wife more and more.
Right?
She is such a clown. Oh my God. I am in tears over here.
That's what I tell mine. I'm like, you need to join. She's just like that.
Oh my God. Thank you for that. I needed that so bad.
Hello, humor out of nowhere. And this is not brought to you by your favorite drink from Minute Maid or DK Bonanza Emerald Run, whatever the fuck that DC's called. All right. That being said, Walter, we had the contract signing. Of course, we had a G1 Climax a callback with John Moxley and Tomohiro Ishii. It hit hard, as we expected. We, of course, had Fred Hyde, Chris Statlander, and Timeless Tony Storm. We had Kyle versus Kyle, where I think I said Kyle more.
Oh my God! I think I've said Kyle more in 20 minutes than I have in 42 years.
We're so famous and so infamous at the same time. We also have Mercedes Moné take on Lacey Lane. Did not expect that. I completely forgot she was from Florida.
Good match, though. Good match.
Yeah, I wonder if that means we're going to see more of her around in AEW. We also had Ray McGurk, Okada, and could also get a Kesha ticket on Brodito.
Oh
And
my
then
God, you can cut the tension with a knife in that one, dude. The miscommunication twice, I think it happened, right? Where he bumped into him. Then he tried to turn Okada around at the end and be like, "What the F, dude?" Okada literally just ignored the shit out of him and walked out of the ring. Like it was like these two are. I can't wait till next year because you know they're gonna get the one-on-one. I have to. It's like in a slow cooker right now, and I've got to fucking be patient. But I can't wait.
Well, Japan's known for their slow cookers, especially for rice and other things, so that don't surprise me one bit. If this comes to the Tokyo Dome, though, take my effing money. And then, of course, we have further hype for Wrestling, as I said, the Broke Bucks attacked Jurassic Express, callback to Jack Perry, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, might I add. And now they got a chance to get $500,000 again and freaking probably blow it at the casino like fucking idiots. This is a message from the Superman folks. Gamble responsibly or you're going to be a dumb, broke dickhead. Or
Trust me, I'm
just
living
saying.
proof. I'm living proof. But what did they had tickets and they went in there and I guess they went against some local team, I guess. And so it wasn't about the match. It was the aftermath of what happened after with those young fucks.
Well, I mean, we're over the 15-minute mark. Fuck it. Fair enough. And of course, we saw Ishii prove again, you can't kill this stone pit bull, as John Moxley had to literally put him down, incapacitate him in a submission hold after curb stomping his head in the mat. How you curb stomp a man with no neck, though, is what I'm wondering. But whatever.
Didn't they start with that? I think that started.
That was the first match they started with. Yeah, that was the first match they started with. And again, John Moxley now with the hat trick against Tomohiro Ishii. Again, we also got Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher 5 as they're 2-2. Mark Briscoe going after his new destiny, the TNT Championship, once again at Wrestle Dream. Always looking forward when Mark Briscoe speaks on my screen because it actually brings joy to my heart, quite literally. And that's saying something once in a while. And then, of course, main event, Fresh Screen Jones Cassidy versus Pac, revisited from Revolution 2020, as well as the rivalry over the AEW All-Atlantic Tournament International Championship. And Darby Allin tried to commit arson with a weapon that most likely will be in GTA 6. What the fuck?
It was literally the cocktail, whatever the shit is called, Molotov.
Molotov cocktail. Stuntman be damned. That's still freaking insane that he tried to pull that stunt off and got attacked by a security man. Well, you know, wrestling can actually have legitimate
Lucky that security was on time, because if that lighter was still lit, that whole place would have blown up.
I mean, for all we know, there could have been water in that green bottle, but still, the symbol aside, the fact that John Moxley wasn't backing down and Remainer Shafir told him to get the fuck away from him, and the fact that we just saw Darby Allin attack John Moxley at New York Comic-Con, who the fuck knows what these two are going to do next week and to force the other to say I quit without taking the other's life?
I think John Moxley has finally met somebody that's just as crazy or crazier than him. And that's saying something.
The jury is out. What is crazy versus crazy? I saw that, JJ. And that was AEW Title Tuesday. I mean, again, you and I were on the call. We had a blast calling it. Daly's Place is always such a special atmosphere for All Elite Wrestling. Of course, it's pretty much how it grew into what it became, of course. And again, I thought it was a really fun show. You called it mini pay-per-views were for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, especially that tag match, man. I was invested.
Yeah, and again, can they coexist? And will one be IWGP World Heavyweight Champion? Again, we'll talk more about that later.
I still can't believe they won. I was not expecting one, but now, is it next week they get the title shot, or is it the next paper?
It's literally
the Wrestle Dream.
That's
correct.
It's
Wrestle Dream. Yeah.
Yeah, Wrestle Dream.
I actually watched the show and I took notes, guys.
Ash, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. So with that being said, me and Walter called it. We talked about it. We loved it. Now let's go around and get some of your solid thoughts, including you, Nick Khan. All right. But we're going to first start with the lady, since she actually took notes. And I feel she's actually going to bring more to this conversation. Ash, what were your thoughts on AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, Daly's Place Homecoming?
It was a solid episode. I love how they build up to Wrestle Dream. There's probably going to be more added, but at least I have it's good knowing that I have an idea of what's on the card. That's not the day of the show. All jokes aside.
They've been doing better with that these last couple pay-per-views.
Right.
Now they got the go home on Wednesday, and then they do the tailgate brawl thing on HBO Max prior to the show. And then, of course, WrestleDream here for the States, and that's will be available on HBO Max. So this coming Wednesday, that card pretty much will be final, I imagine. Outside whatever they do on tailgate brawl, which makes sense. It's a pre-show. Pre-show doesn't matter. But yeah, I like this strategy that Tony Khan AEW has been doing lately. So we got the World Championship, the Women's Championship, the Tag Team Championships, a $500,000 big money match. Yes, you heard me right. Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express for $500,000. That's the big money match. I'm just putting it out there.
Literally big money match.
I mean, I can do a lot with $500,000. I'm just saying.
Right.
And it
That's
doesn't
like a down
involve.
payment for a house.
That's literally my house. I mean, my house is only $80,000 and then some. Plus, I don't spend it on footwear.
I can't wait to see their entrance because they obviously don't have the budget right now until after the match if they win.
Well, right. Oh, that's a good.
Right.
That's good call there too. Yeah.
I think we're gonna have an entrance for the jobber treatment. Just saying.
That's yet to be seen.
I'm just saying. Also, just a side note, at this point, come WrestleDream, Mercedes Moné will surpass Jade Cargill for the longest reigning TBS champion in AEW history. So congratulations to her on that pursuit with 22 now successful defenses. But again, Lacey Lane, I'd like to see more of an AEW. I thought it was all right.
Yeah, she had a really good showcase. I keep in mind, I don't watch NXT, so I didn't see much of her.
Yeah.
So from what I saw, she's not bad.
I mean, hey, she did more in that match than she did as a party girl at NXT and WWE when she was a tag team specialist. Can't tell you last time she had a singles match outside the Mae Young Classic. So there you go.
She was more popular while in WWE for the TikTok she did with Damian Priest than what she did in front of the camera.
Damn. And this is another reason why TikTok ruins the nation. But again, what do I know?
Brain rot, generational brain rot.
Maybe that should be the name of this generation, not Gen Z, despite the fact we don't wear socks with shoes.
We're actually in Gen Alpha right now, actually.
Right. Oh, yes. How can we forget? We also saw they hurt people. The Hurt Syndicate destroyed the Demand. Ricochet in the Gates of Agony in a ridiculous street fight. Bobby Lashley is a freak, and Shelton Benjamin can yeet somebody across the ring through a table. Who knew? Damn.
That was a fun street fight. I'm hoping, like, maybe because of this win, the Hurt Syndicate are next in line for the trios title, because these three were so good as a unit.
Well, again, MVP said he can't wrestle, but he sure as hell can fight. And celebrating his 24th wrestling anniversary back home in Florida, he brought the fight all right. So whether or not we get trios, we get tag, or maybe we'll finally get Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley run roughshod as singles, who knows where business goes from here? But Ricochet got his receipt. Overdue and well deserved. And I love the fact that the Hurt Business were still all business in suits in this street fight. That just goes to show, again, best dressed complete faction in professional wrestling. I stand by what I said.
Lashley didn't even take his dress shirt off.
No, he didn't. Freaking speared Leona out of his daggone bare feet, excuse me, in a freaking tennis shoes. So there you go. Well, what other notes do you have from this, Ash? What's your overall thoughts towards Title Tuesday?
It was a good show. I loved it. It was solid. It was one of the better Dynamites I've watched in quite some time, and I love how they built towards the pay-per-view. The O'Reilly Fletcher match was so good. I loved it. Oh my god, it's such a blast seeing O'Reilly do what he does best.
One of the best from Canada, eh?
Exactly. And Fletcher is not that bad of an Aussie. Like he really had hung with O'Reilly because Fletcher has before Fletcher had the stigma of being a Will Ospreay copy, or as I like to call him, a Will cosplayer, if you will.
Well,
but no, he's really coming to his own now, and I forget how technically sound Fletcher can be at times.
Yeah, I'm about to say, very counterintuitive towards Kyle
He's
Fletcher.
so good.
Knee bar, heel hook, the modified Kimura, launder him in the corner, risking hyperextending his arm out of his socket, as Walter so slowly called. This is one of Walter's favorite matches because, again, he loves counter wrestling, and this was a counter wrestling clinic.
Absolutely, like counter wrestling at its finest for a TV show.
Well, again, mini pay-per-view to a degree, if you ask Walter, and I totally agree. And again, 2.5 hours, and it kind of flew by.
Yeah, and it went. This was like one of the best paced AEW shows, because when it got to like the main event, it was like which is I was surprised, which was Pac and Orange, and goddamn, I love me some Orange. I will say this right now, and this is going to surprise the fuck out of all of y'all.
Go for it.
Orange Cassidy is my favorite AEW wrestler.
Really?
Wow. Really?
Yep.
Really? Kyle. And you're going to hear Kyle when we talk about Kyle this coming Saturday when Kyle defends the title against Mark Briscoe. Just saying. Kyle forever.
Well, Kyle's wants a bitch. She's big. That bitch. She's biggest bitch in the whole wide world. She's big.
No, just a little bit.
Kyle. All right. All right. Fair enough. Thank you for that, Ash. James, of course, you and I have called AEW in the past. You were in the green room. I did see for a moment that you dropped by. Did you catch any glimpses of AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday? And do you have any thoughts to lend?
I wish I did. I've been so busy with work that unfortunately that's been occupying all my attention. So
Prioritize passions, respect.
Yeah. That's all I got. But I'm sure it was a good show because AEW's actually been getting better. And I can admit that. And that's okay not to be stuck in a goddamn echo chamber.
Yeah, I wonder who you're referring to. Obviously. All right. Fair enough.
Well, that's mostly in general to both sides. Stop it. Get some help.
If only it was that simple. If only it was that.
Do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, if only it was that simple. With the fact World Mental Health Day was yesterday, and people still don't know what it means to be better and protect your mentality. Oh well, you only can try and change the world. You can't force it. All right, Nick, let's go ahead and see if you guys can be serious for a second. What's your thoughts towards AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, and of course Wrestle Dream hype coming up as we're building towards this card? Go ahead and talk about Daily's Place Homecoming. Or drink a Coca-Cola and just say, moving on.
I liked it a lot. I did it for The Rock.
Good deal.
You had to love it because they made you all the money you blew.
This is accurate.
I did it for the family.
Well, you know what they say, don't ever fuck with a family. And I'm Italian, so I know a thing or two about that. Not that I'm going to whack you or anything like that. I don't know anybody yet. All right. JJ. What? JJ, you, of course, weren't part of the watch along, but here you are part of the conversation. Me and Walter gave us a recap. Ash gave more notes. And you know how much I love AEW when it comes to the wrestling business and what it contributes. But, Nick, you still have your hand up. You're not done yet. What else single line you got?
It was good.
Good man. All right. Good deal. All right. Well, from that freshly squeezed comment in the Ray-Bans to JJ, who is having the time of his life, and I'm glad to see that. JJ, go ahead and talk a little about AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, Homecoming, Daily's Place. Did you look at any highlights, or based on our conversation, what's your interpretation of it in any way?
I didn't really get to see any highlights. Like James, I've been really kind of swamped with work and life stuff. That's why I'm at an undisclosed location, trying to unwind and de-stress a little bit. But the only thing that I really can take away is it was called Title Tuesday, and there was only like one title match.
2 title matches, another match with title implications, and hype up of the world title match at Wrestle Dream. Title Tuesday has always been a context. It hasn't necessarily been surrounded by the World Championships, with the one-time show that does happen once a year around this time. And Nick, for some reason, dropped off. That was weird. Continue.
It's just one of those things where when I hear the word Title Tuesday, I expect almost like a battle of the belts. I expect all the titles to be on the line, or every match to at least be a title match.
I see.
It shouldn't be called Title Tuesday.
Context aside, I see what your point.
It's the same issue I've had in the past with like Night of Champions, and then they have like a number one contendership match. It's like, wait a minute, it's Night of Champions should have championships, not championship implications, championships. Title Tuesday, every match should be a title match.
WWE don't give a fuck about that opinion.
I can understand to an extent the eliminator match because, as you pointed out, it's got title implications.
But any match that didn't have a title or title implications on it, it's like, why couldn't that be another normal week? That's just the way my brain works.
Respect.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the presentation. By all accounts, it sounds like it was a great show. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Period.
Is that the people that watched it enjoyed it.
Simple as that. All right. Well, thank you for that. And young boy, you still have 4 years to grow up, so that's what you missed out on so far. Get to puberty. And so far, we've only talked about AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday, but thank you always for your support. Good luck to you and your Cleveland Browns. We'll see what matures first. Okay, moving on from there. Of course, we went from AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday to NXT Invasion, NXT Showdown. So let's go ahead and suddenly talk about that. It was a one-night special where NXT and TNA collided in head-to-head competition for brand supremacy, almost like a Survivor Series. Really? We had four matches, I believe. We had the men's Survivor Series, the women's Survivor Series, the NXT North American Championship, and of course NXT versus TNA tag team titles. Winner take all. Simple summary, of course, is me and Walter did a retro watch along because, again, fuck the CW app. Never happening again. You're going to have to pay me to make me do that shit again. All right, seriously. I'm going to put a loophole in my contract. We had the Hardys versus Dark State in what felt like kind of underwhelming, but of course, no one expected the Hardys to lose. By the way, spoiler alert for those that watch House of Glory. 3, 2, 1. The Hardys are now 3 tag team champions. They have the House of Glory tag team championships now, as well as JJ slowly called it. Not surprised. Anyway, they did beat the Dark State, Retribution, Enhancement Talent Group, and the Hardys now are the NXT TNA tag team champions and will defend those against the Dudleys tomorrow night at Bound for Glory in one final tables match. So stay tuned for our coverage on that. Outside of that, we'll get into the women's Survivor Series match. I didn't know Jordan Grace knew how to referee a soccer player, as she gave Jada Parker a yellow card and a red card. For those that don't know, a red card means you're almost thrown out of the game. She wasn't thrown out of the game, but she was eliminated. Sorry. And Lola Vice was also slowly eliminated. Chaos broke down when the Inspiration was also eliminated. No surprise, Marissa Adair was eliminated first. She was the only one.
Bullshit! No.
It tells you really fair.
What Mamacita got eliminated and just bullshit. Sorry.
I mean,
Which Mamacita?
That's bullshit.
Brother.
My original one, Lola.
You scared the shit out of me.
He's still pissed off, by the way, from No Mercy. So maybe we shouldn't talk about Lola Vice and the negative contest that much. I'm just saying.
I know how you all feel now anytime I scream accidentally when I'm doing a bit, because he did that and scared the piss out of me. Holy hell. I was not prepared at all.
I'm not the only one that can raise their voice out of pure surprise or pure anger, James. Now you know. Anyway, to fast forward through it all, Jessie Jane, her fatal influence, apparently stole it from Saruka's Klein Joe was the last stand for Team TNA. I mean, Team NXT then versus Team NXT now. And, of course, got her so snatched as Jessie Jane stole the pin. Saruka and Jessie Jane won for Team NXT. Damn it. As we move on from there, Matt Cardona, who's always ready for an opportunity, was backstage in Ever Reign's office. He will be facing Josh Briggs, whoever the hell that is. I guess he's more relevant than Griff Durst.
Hiding behind the damn door.
Still, brilliant.
Door.
Hiding behind a freaking guy that might as well be part of the Mayans biker game or the FX special. And basically, it will be Josh Briggs versus Matt Cardona this coming Tuesday on NXT television. Moving on from there, the most competitive match of the night was actually the NXT North American Championship match. Mustafa Ali versus Eagle, Ethan Page, the best to come from Canada, the champion now of 3 different countries on one continent, and of course, your favorite Canadian design NXT North American Championship. It was a very hard-fought competitive bout, and Booker T's an idiot, apparently, as his cable got in the way. I didn't know he had that long of a cable. Miscommunication with the cabling on the footing, and Ethan Page twisted his grin and retained the NXT North American Championship. I would not be surprised to see these two run it back, though. That was quite a match.
That cable was like 10 feet long. Like, it was ridiculously, unnecessarily long.
Yeah, about to say. And, of course, main event, featuring special guest referee Joe Hendry, who, by the way, Joe Hendry, he only wore the freaking NXT logo, while Jordan Gray's gear featured the freaking NXT and TNA logo. Gee, I wonder if that's some fucking foreshadowing. But anyway, it was the men of TNA, legitimate TNA superstars versus NXT superstars. Trick Williams, who doesn't represent any brand, Absolute Ricky Saints, the captain, Javon Evans, and who was the fourth guy? Miles Bourne, taking on Moose. Leon Slater, Mike Santana, and what's the other guy's name? Oh, yeah, Frank Kazarian.
The king of TNA. Put some respect on the king's name.
Prince, shut your face. That being said,
he is a champion now, damn it.
Yeah, good for him. Not the world champion. Still not the big one.
Yeah,
Never will
okay,
be.
you go to Santana.
My friends. He better be by in a couple of weeks or whatever it is, Sunday.
You mean literally coming up tomorrow? You're gonna rant worse than
tomorrow.
No Mercy?
You think I scared the piss out of James? Let Santana not get his hand raised.
James, get ready to clip it. Anyway, this was quite a competitive match, and of course, Trick Williams, he ran like a bitch away from Mike Santana and left his team high and dry because he doesn't represent any brand; he represents himself. Go figure. It was a very united front, though, on TNA's side, where at a point, TNA, I think, was like, what, 4-2? And then all of a sudden, Ricky Saints, like a bat of hell, truly showing representing NXT. He eliminated both Kazarian, who I might add was eliminated first for his team, and Leon Slater eliminated Javon Evans, which of course is challenge versus the championship. Now, is that foreshadowing? I have no damn clue. Kind of has me worried a little bit, honestly. In the end, it was Moose and Mike Santana that spun the block and speared combo Ricky Saints back into his NXT championship spot in NXT only and won for TNA, which means the showdown ends in NXT 2, TNA 2. So it's virtually for nothing. But either way, it was still a fun one-night showcase. Let's call it what it is. It was a one-night showcase.
It led to the announcement that happened at the end there. When the two general managers were in the, one's a director of authority, not a general manager, but same shit, different title. Yeah. So they announced that TNA knockouts are invited. They will have a battle royal to determine the number one contender for the women's NXT championship next week. And she extended the offer to the knockouts.
Well, again, considering I look at both these brands more so for the women's divisions more than anything else, and I do think it's stronger together for the women's division at least. That's probably the one thing I will give this partnership, pre-acquisition. So I can respect that. It seems like, still good footing with both the director of Forte and the NXT director. By the way, Miles Bourne, great effort. He was eliminated first. Go figure. But yeah. It was an interesting show, but overall, it didn't feel any bigger than NXT TV. When you look at the fact outside the man of TNA, the women are former NXT talent. Like, again, why wasn't Killer Kelly, Rosemary, Zaya Brookside, Jody Frett, Danny Luna, TNA originals involved in this versus TNA Generation Me, previously NXT? What the fuck?
It was okay for me, but I really feel like the app took me out of it. Like the fact that we watched it on the CW app and all the difficulties, and every time I went to commercial, we would unsync. It just took me out of it. I think that's what made me not enjoy it as much. Not what they did. It's just the app itself kind of took me out of it.
I'll give you that. It was fun. Would I watch NXT regularly post CW? Hell to the fuck no. But yeah, that was NXT invasion, the NXT TNA, the NXT Showdown. Okay, let's go around the horn and get some context from y'all. I'm sure not everybody watched it here, but by the way, if you want to watch it, don't watch the CW app. The full matches, all 4 full matches, are on YouTube CW channel. Note to self, we do this shit again. We're doing that, and you're going to get fucking premium. All right. Let's go around the horn and get everyone's thoughts. First and foremost, we'll actually start with the man that represents his NXT, while I am TNA faithful, and we will never see eye to eye on both these brands. So, JJ, go ahead and speak.
You make me sound like I'm a hard ass. I enjoy TNA. Dattila is the one that has the issue getting past NXT TNA. I, for the longest time, was watching TNA on a weekly basis and enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
So I take a little bit of issue with that concern.
All right, fine.
That being said, I agree with you about the Women's Survivor Series match. I had issue with that from the jump. I think I called that out last week.
You did.
You weren't there for that, but I believe I called that out last week.
I watched a little bit of the Shenanigans, and then I saw you. Go ahead.
I mean...
Saw who?
Remember how Nick had his wife's titties out for the first part?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Moving on.
Wait. I missed boobs?
Anyways.
Titties, baby.
Anyways.
Titty Tuesdays.
Not just any titties. Not just any titties. Canadian titties.
Oh my God.
I was a little bit surprised with Mara Sade on the TNA side that they didn't put Lash Legend on the NXT side. I thought that would have been an interesting twist since they both were metaphor together.
What's wrong, honey?
That way there could have been a little bit of heat there. Like, are they going to fight each other? Are they going to work together? Because they didn't have animosity when everything fell apart. They just ended the stable, and later that week she was released. Completely unrelated. It's not like there was some falling out in the group and this long-standing rivalry or anything. So it would have been interesting to see the dichotomy there if they had been on opposite sides. That said, it split 2-2. Pretty much went the way I figured.
Same.
Just to correct you there, the Hardys actually have 4 tag titles. I was unaware of the other one either. They have a tag title in a company called Fourth Rope.
Oh.
Run by Enzo Amore.
So they have 4 tag titles. I know we'll get to the House of Glory in a little bit when James covers that show and we get to that portion of the show. But it basically went the way I expected. I said on Simply Predicting that, the NXT tag titles being involved now gives a little bit of a, question to the table match tomorrow, because the Dudleys have never been NXT tag champs.
Accurate.
And could they actually end up winning the match? Even if it's just to drop the titles to insert team here at Halloween Havoc in a couple of weeks. The thing that has my head scratching the most, and maybe it's a little bit of tinfoil conspiracy here, and again, I think I brought this up on Simply Predicting a little bit, but not everybody here was there for that. Briggs and Cardona next week.
Correct.
I so bad want to see a return of Brooks Jensen, who hasn't been seen since he was exiled from the Calling, reunite with Briggs, and then have Brian Myers come to help Cardona. And you've got the Ed Heads, Hawkins and Ryder, the major players, whatever you want to call them, reunited. And you've got Briggs and Jensen reunited to go forward in this feud, whether we take that into Turning Point or Final Resolution or Halloween Havoc or whatever going forward. I'd really like to see that, because ever since this began, we've been waiting for Cardona. We've wanted Cardona to come back. With all of the ex-WWE guys getting that pop with their old music, will Cardona come out to radio? And we get to hear, oh, radio, tell me everything you know.
On copyright.
And even if we just get that little intro part and then it goes into always ready and like his normal music hits, I think there would be a massive pop just for that radio intro. Like,
I mean, to be fair, they did that with Mustafa Ali's Go Hard theme, and then it went into his political campaign dictatorship theme.
I would love it.
Santino came out to his old theme.
Yeah, I would love it if he bring back the one leg gear.
I don't think he'll go that far.
Nah.
But it would be nice to see the radio theme come back.
Well,
if he was going to do the one leg, have that be the tag match where he revisits that. Teaming up with Myers on WWE TV.
Video killed the radio star.
All right, non-copyright. Don't go back to the 80s.
But it seems like everything, again, it was a good show from what I saw. This one I did see a couple of clips from because I was really intrigued to see what was going to happen with the Hardys. You know, to see if my theory was going to come to fruition, and it did. So I definitely watched a few clips from this one. I watched the promo with Cardona and Ava and Briggs and everything. I'm looking forward to this.
And we'll see how it transcends into Bound for Glory, where it's still NXT versus TNA, particularly for the World Championships. And to your point, Matt Cardona alongside the hometown man, Ryan and Nick Nemeth, along various others, are in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. So we'll see what happens.
They should have did some teasers for that Call Your Shot Gauntlet.
Well,
like
Tom Hannigan did do the rundown after the contract signed with Klein Joy and Indy Hartwell of the Bound for Glory card, and he ran down the names known in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. 13 total known names, including number 1 and number 20. And again, it's both males and females involved. People, Laylee Lee, number 1, Vance Warner, number 20. There are 7 names, as far as we know, that we don't know. So expect NXT or TNA to show up. All right. Well, thank you for that, JJ. Let's go around Lawrence. Everyone else had lends any thoughts towards NXT Showdown. James, do you have anything you want to add towards JJ's disposition towards NXT Showdown or what you heard during our simple rundown?
Should have been called Invasion. Other than that, didn't watch it.
Fair enough. Well, they already had like some politically incorrect controversy thrown to them about that name, and I'm pretty sure they ended up with a chastised. They're like, it's 2000 all over again. Anyway, it almost did feel like that.
No,
except
it was because of the date. That's why they were saying they
Yeah,
were insensitive to
that's
Hamas.
This is a sensitivity, my ass. Grow a spine. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and go to Nick here, and let's see if Nick has anything to add to NXT Showdown. I'm going to guess no. But Nick, go ahead and lend a thought towards NXT Showdown. What do you want to say?
Backstreet's back. All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so he gives it a grade of all right, not Matthew McConaughey style. All right, fair enough.
All right.
Well, must have had the right stuff. All right. Ash, what do you want to add towards the conversation of NXT and NXT Showdown? Go ahead.
So I have to step away for a bit. When I walked out, what were you guys talking about?
Showdown.
Okay,
NXT Showdown.
So I had to miss halfway into like the women's conversation because I had to help out my mom with something.
Respect.
So I might have to catch that on the replay. So I actually watched the NXT.
What?
Yeah, and I actually have notes.
Look at this young lady actually exploring all things wrestling. She might as well be part of my ATW family. She's learning the ways of the simple man. I'm so proud of her. Please continue.
Okay, so the show opened with the Hardys. It was a decent match. It really popped the crowd. The crowd was into it because it's the Hardys. Who's not going to pop for them, right?
Duh.
The women's match, I'm not too familiar with them, but I was really impressed by Hold on, I'm really bad with names. So good thing I wrote them on my notes.
I got you. Don't
Okay,
worry, we'll help you.
on the TNA side of things, Kalani Jordan, she was very impressive. It's nice seeing Inspiration work as a team. One of these solid women's tag teams. I mean, they're Knockout champion for a reason, right?
They're the only legitimate women's tag team in professional wrestling history. Don't continue.
Beautiful people exist, but okay.
WWE.
Well, right now.
Oh, current. Okay.
Correct.
Fair enough.
You're fine, Ash. Just don't get me triggered. Again, I talk about the Inspiration all the time and how WWE fucked that up. Anyway, continue.
We don't talk about that, but anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's for the TNA side. And for the NXT side, okay. Sol Ruka might be one of my favorite wrestlers right now. Because oh my god, I love her. I love her. She's everything I love. I love her flippy shit. I love her bubbly personality. And I love her finisher. It's so dope.
The Soul Snatcher. That freaking
I freaking love that woman.
Legitimately, Saruga is the only reason I care about this NXT right now. She is incredible. Continue.
Yeah, and
I
even
see your hand if she's done.
And even JC Jane, her like the character work she does, like it's like you can tell she plays the role of the nasty, bratty, mean girl. Like that, it just fits her to a T. The NXT North American title, oh my god, such a good match. I loved it because Ethan Page, so good. Mustafa Ali, so good. They just have such good chemistry with each other.
Not bad for a first ever one-on-one encounter.
Right? It was really good. And I love the story that they had for like the men's elimination team. Like the TNA team almost like had a clean sweep. Trick Williams walking out on Ricky Saints and Ricky Saints almost like having a comeback, which is good because he's the NXT champion, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, they did a good job of making the NXT champion look strong, but not too strong.
They did what should have happened at SummerSlam with Team WWE versus the Nexus.
Right?
This I will give you is accurate.
I'll like this was a solid show. I liked it. Am I going to start watching NXT? That's still, but for what I watched, it was really good.
I'll give you this. If CW has a full match you are looking into, then only use the CW YouTube channel.
I have it on Netflix, so I do not have that issue.
Yeah, fair enough. You still have to deal with commercials, so I guess either way, fuck television. But
Also,
okay.
I want to point out this. The TNA NXT partnership is actually pretty good. Like, I understand concerns about the acquisition, but I will say this. Out the NXT, there's NXT people with TNA titles and vice versa, which is a lot more than I can say for another partnership, but you know.
Yeah, well, this versus then, that versus that. But I do see what you're saying. But at the end of the day, WWE wants to take over the world, thinking in the brain style. It's a matter of when we get the word acquisition officially. Guarantee you 2026.
If WWE does get TNA acquisition, what does that do to the industry? Just out of curiosity, I want to know what your guys' opinion on that, if that were to happen.
Well, I imagine they would use them to their own gain and use their video library for a different WWE day of on-demand content. And I imagine it would probably be far more advertising and over-marketing. So I would say it's more for the top 1% and over-glorified pricing for everybody that's still willing to spend that money.
I disagree. I think that it's basically just another developmental territory for them.
And pride to
it's another place where they can send their talent to hone their craft to get better for the big dance, which is Raw and SmackDown.
That works so well with Evolve apparently right now. All right. Well, moving on. Thank you for that, Ash. Nick, I did see your hand. Let's go to you next. What you guys say? Well, actually, yeah, you're the one left. What you guys say before we move on? You already gave a statement, but you got something else to say before we move on. Go ahead.
Did Zarya flip before she flopped or after?
Well, the jury is out as Blake Monroe is trying to split the team up. And we got Zarya versus Blake Monroe, I believe, that's coming Tuesday on NXT.
Ooh,
So,
that should be fun.
Or did she flop before she flipped?
I don't know. What's the difference? Like heads or tails? Well, anyway, that was NXT Showdown. That was AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday. I enjoyed AEW slightly more, and that's all I got to say about that. But both shows, they did what they had to do, and they were okay. But the CW app officially sucks, and that's all I got to say about that. That's all we got to say regarding TV wrestling as we move into the weekend of wrestling. So when we come back from this commercial break, we're going to segue into House of Glory. Not just the Hardys, but so much more, including Indy Hartwell defending the House of Glory Women's Championship. And then after that, me and Walter had to deal with Australian time. We're going to talk about WWE Crown Jewel. This is so much more after this commercial break as the Saturday shenanigans continue. But in the meantime, check out what's ahead outside Bravo Glory tomorrow. That's coming up next on the Watch Along trailer for the Simply Reliable Studios. And we'll see you on the other side of this 90 seconds.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And truly here at the Simply Reliable Studios in my simple fashion. That trailer, as always, I like to remind you, truly encompasses and embrace what we do here as we analyze, criticize, fantasy book-wise, pontificate, watch along, react, and discuss. Truly to all the wrestling. And welcome back here to the Saturday Shenanigans. I am, of course, your moderator host for the evening. For now, the simple man Noah Foster with a Hebert, Walter Cruz, the Canadian Connection, Nick Ferrantes, and Ash, not by elegance, but far more elegance. Again, Ashley, I wish you all the best in whatever their future holds. And the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. As the conversation and the shenanigans are sure to continue. All right. Well, we already talked about Tuesday night and post Wednesday night. Let's go ahead and move forward past Thursday night and move into Friday night. And Nick's got 5 fingers up. Don't know what that's about. So, Nick, you got your hand up. What you got to say real quick before we move on to our next wrestling show topic? You're muted. Botch.
Fuck. There we go. Hi.
Happy Thanksgiving, Ash.
Thanks, you too.
Yes. Canadian Thanksgiving. I almost forgot about that.
Yes.
Again, the holidays are so off track. Well, it's still a more realistic holiday than whatever the 31st is here in the States. Anyway, I hope that you all
beginning of the
enjoyed
show? I caught the beginning of the show. We did great. Our numbers skyrocketed. Our 18 to 39 was amazing.
Numbers are overrated. Numbers are nothing but a figment of the top 1%.
No,
well,
that's
that
not
being
true.
said, all right. Well, while you're a Nielsen representative, kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck about numbers. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and talk about House of Glory. Can you tell I don't give a flying fuck about corporate America, even though I work for a nonprofit? Let's move on, shall we?
We live in Canada. We don't have corporate Canada.
I do want to.
You have a prime minister. How's that going?
That's true.
I do want to just say before we move on, like fully to the next topic, we do in fact have a technically a super chat. Emmanuel with the 29 months.
All right, fair enough. I'll acknowledge him because I tolerate him. And Emmanuel, who's been a member for 29 months, thank you very much. JJ appreciates that, and probably appreciates your comment here. JJ secretly hates fun gimmicks like the hometown man. Look at him. Check his head. Disapproval of him. I did see him nod, but I also botched him when he thought that Cody Deaner still had a job because he won that match and decided to become a mask person. Incorrect. Cody Deaner was fired. Now I got the hometown man who has not lost in his hometown yet. He also will be involved in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, with victories over Ryan Nemeth included. There you go. Before I move on, JJ, anything you want to say regarding the hometown man and his chances of winning the Call Your Shot Gauntlet at Bound for Glory in Lowell, Massachusetts?
I'm so embarrassed.
No.
All right.
Straight up, no.
Jesus, no, with the N-O.
Because I was embarrassed on Thursday when I thought that Cody had won the match. I swear to God, it's Mandela effect. I could have sworn Cody Deaner had won the match and then started the stupid gimmick. And my whole point of contention was, why would you do the stupid ass mystery gimmick that we all know is you if you won the fucking match? And then I was reminded that he lost the match. And my whole argument was null and void.
And yes, it was. And for the first time.
But it was a good rant.
It was a good rant, but your rant had no value to it, and you had to accept the fact that I was right. All right. Well, moving on. Let's go ahead into the weekend of professional wrestling. And let's talk about what you all just recently covered in House of Glory. It was done by, of course, the WrestleFlash and James Keybird. And again, appreciate them as always, our House of Glory team. So let's go ahead and lend their thoughts now towards House of Glory, right? So, James, House of Glory, go ahead, give us the breakdown. How was it? What happened?
Well, I will tell you this much. There was a nice little fun brawl between Zilla Fatu and Bear Bronson. Bear Bronson's really come into his own as a individual wrestler since leaving the dub. I think he's doing very, very big things, specifically in the deathmatch scene. But this is actually very, very different. This honestly may be the best Zilla Fatu match I have seen since covering Zilla Fatu matches. He felt like he was in his zone. He felt like he was more confident. He felt like there was just a different aura about him in this particular episode. I think working with Bully may have done some good. If Bully taught him some things, good on him. He definitely helped the brother out because this match ruled. Him and Bronson killed it, I think, for the House of Glory Crown Jewel title. Not that Crown Jewel. This is the better Crown Jewel. Very good matchup overall. And it ended with the Super Samoan Spike, which is the Superman Punch mixed with the Samoan Spike, and Super Flash Splash to pick up the win. We had a really good House of Glory Women's World Championship match between Indy Hartwell, the champion, and Zeta Steele, freshly off of her WWE ID program exit. And man, I now understand JJ's rave about Zeta because, my God, I think James has a type. We'll just say that. And also, yeah, I'm just saying. But I also will say, probably her best performance, and that's not even a lie. It helps that she has Indy to work with, but very good match for the championship. Obviously, Indy retains. We had a singles match between Raheem Royale and Idris Jackson. Rare singles match for House of Glory because typically they would do these six-man smages. They didn't with this one. They actually followed up from a previous six-way that they did before, and these two ended up actually brawling out of the last show that they did in Philadelphia. So this is a follow-up to that, which was nice to see from House of Glory because typically they don't actually follow up stuff like that. So I enjoyed that aspect of it. Very good. Very, very good overall. I enjoyed it. I think Raheem Royal and Idris Jackson definitely can have a future the more they get their reps in. The reason we all wanted to do this show when they first announced it, Leon Slater, the TNA X Division champion versus Amazing Red.
There you go, Walter.
Yep. Now, what I'm going to tell you makes no sense. This was not for the X Division title, even though it should have been for the X Division title, because we never thought that Amazing Red was going to win the damn thing anyway, right? Instead, they have a very good match as we go. Then all of a sudden, infamous Darren Richardson, the House of Glory Cruiserweight Champion, who has been a thorn in the Amazing Red side, comes out for a run-in, right? Now, the run-in was thwarted by not just Red, but Leon Slater too, as they did tag team maneuvers on him, and then they went back to having their match. Then, Darren Richardson's valet comes out. I forget her name. Couldn't remember for the life of you. With another distraction, which helped Leon Slater pick up the win. He didn't realize that was happening. He still gave respect to Leon Slater after he picked up the win. By the way, that Swanton 450 is fucking ace, by the way, by Leon. And that leads 1-0 for boisterous behavior, as the other one would be in the main event later. Progress World Champion man like Dries. We'll see how he does later as I go on with this review. Then we see the craziest fucking beatdown segment of all time. As Amazing Red, frustrated to shit, just decides to murk this poor dude and go low-key on his ass.
Oh, Jesus.
Even up to hitting 3 Warriors Ways on him. He misses the third one because the valet finally gets him out of the fucking way. He was bleeding from the mouth after the second one. It was brutal. And by the way, the way he hit this was very much a low key if he didn't like you type thing. But obviously it was to sell the fucking angle. He legit fucked him up with this second double stop. And then he ended up hitting him with the House of Glory Cruiserweight title right over the fucking head, just for added measure, and then left. He was pissed. Amazing Red left incensed. So I think that's going to set up the crescendo for what is about to be this blow-off, which has now become very much a blood feud between Darren Richardson and Amazing Red. So really looking forward to that one. Killer Cross ended up defeating Matt Cardona in the most haphazard-ass match I've ever seen. One, because of the production, and two, because it's a Matt Cardona match in 2025, and I'm starting to think the way he books matches is not great on the indies anymore, and I don't think he can call himself the king of the indies anymore. I did not like this match. I don't think it played to either one's strengths at all that well. This is very disappointing, but I could live with it. What I could not live with... Oh, by the way, Killer Cross defeated Cardona. No shock. He's been jobbing all over the indies. What I can't accept is this. You all know why. I'm not going to go into the rant like I did on Friday. House of Glory Tag Team title match, TNA World Tag Team title unification match. Winner take all. The Hardys versus the main event. Jay Lyon and Midas Black. If you all know and have been paying attention to what I've been saying, to what JJ's been saying, to what Ryan's been saying, to what a lot of people have been saying that have been calling it with us, we've been calling the main event and YDNP, now the Buster and the Brain, A and B for Tag Team of the Year. There's a reason for that. And those two actually had a match on the last House of Glory show, and it was kick-ass. They had probably the best tag team match all year in the States, period. Nothing came close. And that's my honest, humble take on that. Not so humble take on that. So they come in. I know we're more than willing to do the job. Doesn't mean they should have. The Hardys are doing what they did back in 2017 during their Expedition of Gold. They're back on that. Seeing how out of it they are, like not as spiffy as they used to be, and just accounting for the fact of what happened with Jeff Hardy while he was at AEW, and I don't think he should be anywhere in the middle of a fucking wrestling ring again for obvious goddamn reasons. I think the Hardys never should have won the tag team titles, and I think the main event should have pulled some politics here. They did not deserve to lose, even if they were more than willing to do the job, because no way in 2025 should Jeff Hardy be a singles champion, never mind, or a tag team champion in any fucking capacity. And by the way, fuck Matt Hardy. He's an enabler too. He's just as bad. So there's my fucking hot take for you. So I'm over the Hardys at this point. I've been done with the Hardys since when was the fucking last rendezvous with the Law for Jeff? Somebody remind me. I forget.
2022.
2022. Thank you. Yeah, I've been done with them since then. If y'all want to know, you can check out my rant on Talk Wrestling, Jeff's flagship show. Rest in peace. Where I completely fucking bury Jeff Hardy. So there you go. So that left a really bad taste in me and Ryan's mouth, and that left the main event, the House of Glory World Heavyweight Championship match. No disqualification though, so there's some hope. And I said they needed to pull off a fucking miracle to save that show after the dreck we just watched in the previous two matches. Wow, was I not expecting this? No blood. Until the very end, Mason did bleed. But it was a fucking war. 40 minutes and 6 seconds. These two fucking killed it. It felt like a blood feud. It felt like a personal deal. Charles Mason looked like a fucking killer, man. Like he just rose up from the dead every time. He would not go down. They had an ECW chairs throwing into the ring spot, which I thought was such a sick visual in this arena. That was awesome. This was awesome. And they finish it with Mason hitting the middle rope tombstone pile driver onto the bed of chairs that were thrown into the fucking ring to get the win. It looked sick. This easily saved the show. I mean, I ended up recommending it just for this match alone. And obviously the House of Glory Crown Jewel and the women's title, I recommended as well. Overall, very good show overall, despite two matches being and one run and making no sense. I do recommend the show. Go back and watch it. And just skip the Hardys if you actually like the main event and like Young Talent succeeding. Thank you.
So, like, what would if you had to give this show a letter? I mean, what letter would you give it?
I'm giving it a C. It would be a 7.5 out of 10. They saved the show, like single-handedly. That main event saved the fucking show to be a passing grade above, having to repeat a fucking course grade in college. That's how close it was. But they fucking did it. I mean, to be fair, if there was any talent that was going to do it, it would be Mason and Doris. So there is that, right? So I can't say enough good things about Doris. He's the other half of Boisterous Behavior, along with Leon Slater. I think Doris has a hell of a future. Dude's got charisma up the ass. You would not believe how much charisma this dude has. Very much a UK drill rapper along with a pro wrestler. So he's definitely got that going for him. I think he's got a hell of a lot of potential. He's going to be a huge fucking star. Mason, his character work has come leaps and bounds since winning the House of Glory Championship. Just in ring alone, like his in-ring storytelling is so well done, especially in matches like this. I think he just shines. And I can't wait for tomorrow night when I see him along with Cruel and Slade taking on Vanda 48.
Good luck with that. All right. Well, thank you for that, James. That was House of Glory. Let's go around and see if everyone's got any thoughts from that outlook or if you actually watched anything. And again, like CW YouTube channel, House of Glory does have their own YouTube channel. And at times, if you don't have time to watch the show on Triller, they do the full match. They do put the full matches out on their YouTube channel several times from these shows. That's how I've kept up with a lot of the stuff. So thank you for that, James. Let's go around the horn and see what the rest of y'all think. Walter, based on what you heard, I don't know if you watched any of it yet or seen any of it yet. What do you want to say towards James' House of Glory recap?
He's trying.
I didn't see any of it. I was working, so.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fair. Let's go.
Technically still working.
Again, you're the working man, 24/7, 365 all the time. There's a reason why you're Mr. Reliable, ... reliable, but you're also permanently tired. Respect. JJ, I see your hand. Why don't you go ahead and go talk about House of Glory next? Again, your premonition about the Hardys came to fruition, so here we are. So that being said, besides that, what do you want to lend towards the House of Glory recap?
Well, I was going to say, aside from James, I don't think any of us watched it. So everybody going around the horn being like, well, I didn't watch it, but I feels kind of redundant.
That's fair. I just figured they could let a recap, they could let an outlook towards maybe somebody they have watched out of House of Glory, because I'm very familiar with Charles Mason's psychopathic, criminally insane, by any means necessary, hold on to that fucking championship work. That's why I like him. And again, I'm very happy for Indy Hartwell since she's left WWE and has been an incredible champion, shown what she's capable of. The Heart can do anything. And also moving forward the business, if we're being quite honest here. Although what JJ was talking about on City Predicting does make me wonder. She is still the House of Glory champion. That does make me think a lot more about the TNA Knockouts World Championship come tomorrow night at Bound for Glory. Just saying. Anyway, go ahead, JJ. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. But the thing I was going to touch on is the Hardys beating the main event. You know, for me, it's not completely surprising. I can understand why James and Ryan would be disappointed. They've become huge main event fans. Me to a lesser extent. I do like them. Same. I don't think I like them to the extent that James and Ryan do.
Same.
But I have become fans of theirs. But at the end of the day, and I mentioned this on Simply Predicting.
Yes, you did.
I feel like this is all just a ploy to make the one final table match look that much bigger. You know, if the Hardys now walk in there tomorrow with 4 or even 3 championships represented, that makes this match look like it's a bigger deal. And it makes the perception such that maybe the Dudleys can do this because there's championships involved that the Dudleys, Team 3D, Ebony and Ivory, whatever the fuck you want to call them, Bubba and Otis, you know, the Reverend, and, you know,
the Reverend.
There's belts involved that they've never held before. So again, could the Dudleys pick up the upset and add just another notch to their already impressive legacy? You know, we discussed their former WCW, ECW, IWGP,
keep going,
Raw, SmackDown, WWF, WWE. I believe they had Ring of Honor at one point.
Yes,
I don't know if you fact checked me or not, but they've held tag championships in virtually every major company.
Yep.
If they can grab the NXT titles, which is a WWE title they've never had, if somehow the House of Glory titles get put on the line and involved in this as well, since TNA seemingly has at least a minor deal with House of Glory because Santana's ran there, Leon Slater was just there, Indy Hartwell's the champion. You know, clearly there's a working relationship there. And Bound for Glory is their WrestleMania. So by having the Hardys with these titles, even if they're not on the line, if they're allowed to be presented on television in their entrance, That does big things for House of Glory. And I have a feeling it's going to be just like Bully beating Zilla for the Crown Jewel title. We're going to run this back next month. The Hardys will lose the belts because Bound for Glory will have passed. And if rumors are to be believed, the Hardys TNA contracts come up next month. So they'll put the belts either back on Main Event or on another team. And then Main Event can say that they defeated the Hardy Boys for the House of Glory tag titles. That's going to be big going forward for Main Event or whatever team upsets them. I don't look at this as a bad thing. You have to look at this call as a business call. You know, the Hardys holding the House of Glory tag titles is going to do bigger business for House of Glory's next show. That's only a positive for House of Glory.
Yeah.
I understand to a degree why you're done with the Hardy Boys and Jeff Hardy. I was at a point there myself. But
like, I will never not be at that point. Like, I've given this dude so many fucking chances.
So have I, James. So have I. I famously went onto a video, pulled the Jeff Hardy 8x10 off of my wall, and ripped it up into shreds live on the air.
Right.
Damn.
I've been there with him as well, but some point you either move on, forgive, or just let go, like Elsa.
Accurate.
And he didn't do any wrong to me. He didn't do any wrong to my body. He didn't do any wrong to anybody I love. Why am I going to be mad about it? I can't control it.
Nope.
I can't control him.
Nope.
And if the Hardys being House of Glory tag champs is going to do big business for House of Glory, that's good for Charles Mason. That's good for Main Event. That's good for Darren Richardson. That's good for Indy Hartwell, Zillafat 2, Amazing Red. You know?
I hear it.
I'm okay with this from a business model standpoint.
Yeah, you don't have to like business, but at the end of the day, you got to accept business. And if good business breeds from a decision, then honestly, you have no argument.
Now, if the Hardys hold it for more than one show, I might question.
You always have the right to question, though, and that's what it means to have an opinion. All right. Well, thank you for that, JJ. Ash, I did see your hand earlier. I did also see you go off camera for a moment. Do you have something that you want to say towards this conversation, whether it's the Hardys or any House of Glory outlook that you may have, whether or not you saw the show? That's neither here nor there. We're more so talking about the talent. And if nothing else, we recognize the names, the Hardys, Bully Ray, Silafatu, Indy Hartwell, etc. And again, all these names are going to be involved at Bound for Glory with championship implications in less than 24 hours. So go ahead. What you got to say?
So not to be like that nerdy ass person, but I did fact check. And the Dudley Boys never won the ROH tag team titles.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
I must have been looking at something similar because I know they've been involved in ROH, but
I double checked too because I myself thought they were. I just wanted to make sure I'm not misremembering as well. So
no, you're good. You're good, and I don't mind being fact checked there because, like I said, I thought that they were, but I wasn't positive. I've never followed ROH that closely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were involved in Ring of Our 6-man tag team match at one point for Ring of Our World 6-man tag team championships as well.
I mentioned Bully Ray, but I'm not sure about Devon though.
Devon was not. However, if you ask the Dudleys, apparently they count all their titles as part of their lineage. So I guess by their fucking standard, it counts.
Still,
I mean, he would, and he was 6-man tag team champions with the Briscoes in particular. By the way,
that's what I was thinking of. Thank you, James.
Okay.
Cool. And I'll go ahead and make this add on to what I said real quick, and then I'll give it back over to Ash because I just double checked myself. House of Glory has 2 shows next month. They have one on the 15th, the Super Clash, that's part of the Big Event Expo, and then they have their regular show the following week. I could see the Hardys retaining at the Super Clash show, because that's going to be a huge fan expo show.
Yes.
As long as they lose the belts to Main Event or somebody else when they come to Chicago the following week, I think that would be fine.
Real quick, just to speak on Jamboree's comment there. I know it's not a super chat, but this is what chaps my ass about it, kind of. Nothing against you, Jamboree. I understand you're trying to make a point, and if it was anybody else, I would agree with you. This man has put people's lives in danger with his drunken and drugged up antics more than enough times now where I can say, fuck him forever. Iron Sheik style. It is not about business to me. It is about principle. It is about saving somebody from possibly dying at the hands of this lunatic. It's that simple. Full stop. It's you may think I'm out of bounds for that, but the last rendezvous, he almost swerved into a elderly woman in her car.
Jesus.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm done giving this fucking guy chances. I'm just done with it. I'm sorry. I understand other people can, and I do not begrudge you that. I'm glad you can get some enjoyment out of it. It just does not work for me anymore, brother. So
fair enough,
That don't
James.
work for me, brother.
Ash, anything further you want to add besides that fat check?
No, that's all I wanted, because I will say that the Slater Amazing Red match, that sounds really good. I might check it out.
I mean, again, he's a TNA OG, former X Division champion. Walter's been talking about that escapade for Leon Slater, who's the youngest division champion in history. So, but Amazing Red going straight up rogue on freaking. I love that. I love that. All right, well, good stuff. Nick, anybody you want to add regarding the Hardys holding 4 tag team championships, the House of Glory tag team championships is the pride of the name you recognize the most. Indy Hartwell, of course, still being House of Glory women's champion, or any closing remark?
So, how many titles do they need to have for them to officially have creative control?
Damn it, Nick.
I'm just making sure, just checking, just finding out. You know, just doing
Well,
my
it's possible Monet might have 11 titles because she's appearing at an indie show here in Winnipeg, and I think she might have a title match. So.
No, in all seriousness,
yes, go ahead.
I mean, if the Hardys want to keep doing this, then all power to them. I hope that they find success, and they obviously are, right? Listen, I get, like I said, I get James's point with Jeff and his personal life. I think that's his personal life. I don't want to really comment on that. Jeff Hardy as the wrestler and the Hardys as wrestlers, they have done a lot for the business. So I mean, good on them. The Hog Show in general, I don't know. I was telling this to James and JJ on the GCW show. Ever since the weekend of All Out, I really have taken a step back from wrestling. Like, I haven't watched much. Life gets in the way and shit.
Of course.
So I mean, I probably won't go out of my way to watch it. But yeah, I mean, it sounded like a good show. Hopefully, I'm sure you guys had fun watching it. Hog is a great place, right? You have a lot of indie talent, and then a lot of AEW talent too. Go to Hog and come out of Hog, right? Like Private Party. Megan Bain was their women's champion at some point. English.
I discovered her versus Lena Cross, actually. That's how I discovered both of those incredible athletes. I'm just waiting for Lena Cross to show up in AEW again.
So, I mean, Amazing Red must be doing some good stuff down there and training the young talent and getting them ready for their TV wrestling spots, right? So, yeah, good on them.
The world of TV, the world of TV wrestling versus independent wrestling is a whole different level of a grind to be respected and not forgotten or ignored, WWE. All right. Well, fair enough. Thank you for that, Nick. All right. Well, that was House of Glory. And I will say this. I definitely look forward to seeing Zeta Steele show me why she is the real deal against Cindy Hartwell. That was definitely my most anticipated match. But again, Charles Mason, I'm just waiting to see who takes the damn title off that fucking lunatic. And apparently it wasn't happening here. And I didn't think it was going to. But I also didn't think it was going to be a 40-minute clinic either. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching that back. So thank you, James. And thank you, Ryan, as always. All right. Well, that being said, let's go ahead and move into Saturday. And let's go ahead and talk about Australia, because this morning we covered WWE Crown Jewel from Perth, Australia. And of course, featured 5 matches. The matches went in the following order: Australian Street Fight, no Vegemite. It was Bronson Reed versus the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. The Women's Crown Jewel Championship followed Stephanie Valkyria La Primera taking on Tiffany Stratton and trying to stop Tiffy Time. We then had, I cannot say fucking enough about this time capsule match, my God in heaven. John Cena versus phenomenal AJ Styles, where legitimately I gave it the Superman nod of approval. I said, that's professional wrestling, damn it. I'm just going to leave it at that.
There was a point where I respected it so much I wouldn't sit down anymore. I literally stood up for the rest of the match.
Legitimately. And then we have the cool down with Mommy's Homecoming with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky taking on Asuka and Kairi Sane. This match should have been on Monday Night Raw. And then the main event for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship, Seth freaking Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. And that was the card. So, Walter, let's go ahead and break it down. You and I covered it. I basically talked about the show from Title Tuesday. Why don't you go ahead and take the lead on Crown Jewel? Let's talk about what we covered this morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, you had the Australian Street Fight, which Roman for the first half completely dominated. There was 0 offense from Bronson Reed, but then Braun made his way in there. They did use the what do you call the bats from cricket? You knew the name, not me.
Dude, you asked me too fast. I know a little bit about cricket, but I don't know everything. I think they just literally call it a cricket bat. I don't think it has a different name.
It had some name because I remember Joe Tessitore said it, or Wayne Barrett, I should say. But either way, they had trash cans, that interference, and what happened was he was gonna circle the block and do his drive-by, and as Roman went around the corner, Bronson Reed, wow. Braun Breaker jumped the barricade and speared him to shit. And then that's when all momentum changed. And of course, the ending came when the Usos came to, quote unquote, help Roman. However, they ended up costing Roman because they hit Roman with or Jay, I should say, actually did it. It wasn't Jimmy. It was Jay that hit Roman. And then Bronson put him through the table. And then the weather report called for a tsunami. And he actually got a 1-2-3 pinfall over the Tribal Chief. The guy who didn't get pinned for 4 years and only been pinned, twice this year now, actually got a win over him. So we'll see what it means to Bronson to step up and get the next step in this vision. I picked him and I did pretty well with predictions. So, but yeah, it still was shocking that he actually won.
Well, I mean, again, 50-50 booking aside, you and I both kind of called that. I didn't think it was going to be Jey Uso that was going to be Roman Reigns' undoing when Jey speared Roman through the table after a Braun Breaker speared Jimmy Uso through the damn barricade in the timekeeper's area.
And damn, it seems like Braun Breaker just gets faster and faster, man. The way he runs around and does that. What did they say? That he legit gets to 15 miles an hour or some crazy shit. Yeah,
23 miles off the ropes. 23 miles.
That is ridiculous for a human to be able to move that fast.
Eat your heart out, Usain Bolt. And again, the subtle aftermath. Roman Reigns saying, I can't do shit on my own. What did I tell you all? What did I tell you all? And it's almost like Roman Reigns was berating his cousins, particularly Jey Uso. And Jey's like, it's all about him, man. It's all about him, man. And again, whose advice right now is being followed by anybody here? Never before has the bloodline looked so damn weak when it came to Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. I wasn't surprised by the result. I was surprised how he got there. It only took one tsunami, by the way, for Bronson Reed. Might say Bronson Reed now has wins over Kazuchika Okada and Roman Reigns. That's a hell of a coup for a man his career. Biggest win in his WWE career, by the way, as he pinned the Tribal Chief. So as far as War Games and regrouping, and Roman actually wanted to do things on his own or actually do it together with the Usos, stay tuned to be determined. Anyway, match number 2, Women's Crown Jewel Championship.
This was a nice technical bout, back and forth. Stephanie using her ground game, using submission to try to counter Tiffany's aerial assault. Both women doing great things. Stephanie kicked out of a few things that normally people don't kick out of from Tiffany. Tiffany is only the second woman to kick out of Stephanie Vicarious, SVP. Yeah. It was a good back and forth, but at one point, she seemed to have hurt her leg. Was it her leg, Noah?
That dragon screw leg whip by Stephanie Valkyria was Tiffany's undoing. That she went for the prettiest moonsault ever and crashed knee first into the canvas.
Yeah, after that, it was pretty much all said and done. And then, of course, it ended with her and the top rope hitting the most beautiful spinal tap. Like, she almost overshot it, literally got it all. The rotation that she did was, that rotation was so beautiful. And then she got her with all full knees too. There was no way Tiffany was kicking out of that. So the way she won the title is how she defended, how she won this title now, the Crown Jewel title, with that spinal tap. It looked beautiful, but it was a nice back and forth match. And at one point, Tiffany with that damn Alabama slam that she did, that was a crazy ass shit. Like, she slammed Stephanie hard.
The transition into the cartwheel takeover into the Alabama Slammer, flawlessly done by Tiffany Stratton, impresses me each time. At the end of the day, I looked at the match from the World Trailblazer to the WWE homegrown rising star. Again, Tiffany Stratton, no stranger in Australia last year. She made a tipping time when she jumped off the Elimination Chamber and eliminated Naomi. But here, La Primera Stella Valkyria, less than 6 months in her WWE career, is a world champion, has won a Battle Royal, been involved in the Royal Rumble, was both NXT Women's and NXT Women's North American champion, and now is the second ever WWE Women's Crown Jewel champion. La Primera has a huge upside in her WWE career, but this was a great, respectable bout for our first time ever one-on-one encounter.
Then we got to match of the night, damn sure probably match of the WWE pay-per-views this year. You got AJ versus John Cena. We already knew we were in for something special when after John Cena gets his usual entrance, he slips a card over that you can clearly see it was his own handwriting. So he wrote this for AJ. He had Alicia introduce him as somebody who represents total non-stop action and the true leader of the Bullet Club. They mentioned Bullet Club on WWE TV. You can clearly see that AJ was not informed about this. It was a total surprise because he literally went, "Oh shit!" Like he mouthed it, and he was like, "Really?" He was like, "You son of a bitch!" Like he was happy to John Cena did it.
That's
but at
pretty
the same
cool.
time, he kind of broke character, like, "You motherfucker, you got me." But it was beautiful to see.
I will say, correct in popularity, but incorrect because Finn Balor is a true leader.
Yeah, but people forget about Prince Devitt for reasons, and you know that. But anyway,
Yeah,
Kenny Omega exists.
So that's AJ White. Continue.
And it's just Cena's opinion, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. But AJ,
They're all
throwback because he actually had his TNA gear
we could all agree that David Finlay sucks. Okay, move on.
I know you noticed it, Noah.
Debatable.
Compared to the other 4 we just mentioned.
All right. This is not a Bullet Club conversation. That's a different.
Anyway.
No, we can do that on my channel. We can do that on my channel.
That's
with
fair.
the local leader.
Ask your chat. Stay tuned. Continue, Walter.
I know you noticed that was TNA, his old TNA gear.
Dude, I looked at it and I saw the picture of my wrestling comments. I was like, oh my gosh, I love full circle professional wrestling. Continue.
These two went back and forth, classic action. Literally, both men did so many throwbacks to the biggest rivalries. At one point, AJ hit the one wing angel, Christopher Daniels. What the hell else he did? He did Frankie Kazarian's move.
Fade to black.
Fade to black. Shit. Who else did AJ do?
Samoa Joe,
The Coquina Clutch.
Sting, Scorpion Death
Sting,
Drop.
Scorpion Death Drop.
Kurt Angle, ankle lock
First,
almost.
he did. He turned it into something else,
Turned into
though.
a calf crusher, actually.
He turned it into a calf crusher. Now, Cena, on the other hand, RKO'd the man. Freaking Walls of Jericho, the man. Tombstone, the man, which was the final sequence. He tombstone a into an AA. Hit him with a few AAs that AJ actually kicked out of. He tried to go for the punk kick, but got reversed. Damn, what else he do?
He did the freaking rise like Undertaker with the Guzzo and
the choke slam. He goozled him and choke slammed him.
He did the accolade. Rusev.
He did the accolade for Rusev. Like
Abigail as well. He did the sister
sister.
Abigail.
That moment touched my heart. I almost cried. So he went for a top rope move, got reversed, and literally turned it into the sister Abigail, kiss and everything. And when he kicked out, what got me was that Cena looked up to the sky and like mouth thank you or something to Bray Wyatt. And then everybody immediately pulled out their cell phones and did the fireflies. Like that was a touching moment. Like a tear almost came out of my eye.
He got the whole world in his hand too. They think he got the whole world in his hand as well.
It actually warmed my heart. That says something. So
Tear in my eye.
Yeah, I can't even do it justice. That's awesome. They were close to 30 minutes. I think it was close to a half hour. It was at least 27 minutes. At the least.
All the stops, like you said, attitude adjustment. Never got the super AA off though. Did the Styles Clash. Did the phenomenal forearm. The counter exchange between FCF, STF, Crossface, Calf Crusher, FCF was freaking ridiculous, and that was in the early going. Not to mention AJ Styles tried to tune up the band with Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music.
Oh yeah, the Sweet Chin Music. How the hell did I forget that one? Yeah, which he never actually fought Shawn Michaels, so that was a little weird that he did that. But I guess
which one?
Because Cena, he did Shawn Michaels.
Cena fought Shawn. Cena fought Shawn many times, actually.
Well, no. AJ did the super kick. He tuned up the band and everything. That's why I was like, yeah.
Well,
but I guess it was a nod to Cena doing it. But
yeah,
there you go.
I was say I remember John Cena taking on Shawn Michaels twice, and Shawn Michaels was like, I ain't never taking on this.
Of course, WrestleMania 23, which I really thought that Shawn Michaels should have won, but when you found Shawn admitted that they actually did want him to win the title, he just didn't. He didn't feel like he can bring justice to the title at that. So he decided not to win the title anymore. So originally he was supposed to be Cena, I guess, which would have made me go nuts. But I guess he doubted himself having the title. He said he doesn't need it anymore. He's just here to put the younger people over.
And now he's the freaking owner and leader of NXT,
which is a 180 of the Shawn in the 90s. I can tell you that much.
Ain't that the truth? Always the one. Anyway, continue to your point to the finisher.
Yeah, the finish came when he literally tombstoned him. Didn't go for the cover. He immediately rolled him up, picked him up on his shoulders, and did the AA, and finally got the 3. And both men hugged. They got the crowd cheering. Then AJ left Cena in the ring alone to just soak in the cheers. Like this match, I can't even do justice in a recap. Like you got to go take 30 minutes out of your day. I think it was like 27, a little over 27. But take the time out of your day and go watch it.
If you're a fan of wrestling, even if you're not a fan of WWE, even if you don't necessarily be a fan anymore of TNA, if you are a fan of wrestling, you owe yourself this to watch this time capsule of a classic that you will never see again. As John Cena makes it 3-2 now against phenomenal AJ Styles, winning the rubber. Oh, and I almost forgot the Miz Skull Crusher finale. Thank you, Charles. That's right. Which was also freaking awesome. Again, everything about this was Mr. WWE versus the face of TNA. I absolutely fucking loved it. James, you got your hand up. What's up?
I do want to point out as well, everybody that they apparently emulated here for this match, they all actually crossed paths with. Or their opponents crossed paths with each other at some point. All roads have run through Cena and Styles. I want to also have you keep in mind, Cena actually grew up with the same crew that Styles grew up with in the industry because of his UPW days. Frankie Kazarian, he was there. So was Samoa Joe. So was Christopher Daniels. So was Danielson. They've been friends like long before they, became big stars elsewhere in the industry. And it all leads to Styles and Cena. They're like the two biggest faces of their generation, dude. And they are, you know what? I argue this. Here's a hot take for you. I don't even care if he was in TNA. I argue John Cena and AJ Styles are the faces of the Ruthless Aggression era. Full tilt.
I am not going to argue that at this point.
There is no other two people that have had as much influence in this industry in the Ruthless Aggression and the PG era as Cena and Styles have.
Yeah, the difference is, though, James, one did it only in one company. The other one did around the world across companies.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is we saw Mr. Sports Entertainer versus Mr. Professional Wrestling in WWE for the final time ever.
And we saw that Cena could still go. And everybody that gave me shit saying if Cena wanted to go back on his word because of politics, he could go to AEW and have a banger. And everybody told me he can't go. He can't wrestle. Well, sounds like he can still fucking go.
I made the point with Walter. Remember what Cody said? You can't wrestle. The fans of WWE
say my ass he can't
wrestle.
I know Cena can.
Bryan Danielson, phenomenal AJ Styles, Kurt fucking Angle, some of the great professional wrestlers of all time, and John Cena's only hung with them. He's beaten them. And he just had his best match ever with AJ Styles between his rivalry with the phenomenal one.
Yep.
I would argue Cena's having better matches in 2025 than he has had in the past decade almost.
Yeah,
I would maybe the last half, sure.
Yeah.
The last half.
What I also love about this match, you're in ring clinic. They never left the ring.
Yep.
Sounds
And
awesome.
no interference, no distractions, no nothing. Just going at it back and forth for at least 27 minutes, like I said.
Pro wrestling at its finest. That's what this match was. It was pro wrestling at its finest.
Wow. Wait a damn minute.
Look at this. Look at this, by the way. Look at this.
Holy shit. Okay, that's a JJ find for sure, isn't it?
Oh, that is definitely a JJ find. I found that also on the X, and I just realized you look at the then and where they are now, and that was their last encounter. I would say the war. I would say the war has reached its peace with both men, despite the fact one man's got about a year left, the other only has 4 dates left. But again, I cannot recommend this match enough as a fan of professional wrestling. Damn it. That was arguably the best WWE match this year.
It's amazing what can happen in 20 years, right?
Yeah, you know, right? You give enough people enough time, enough patience, and you actually see what fucking happens. You'd be absolutely surprised. And believe it or not, WWE can actually do great professional wrestling matches, folks.
I felt bad. I felt bad for the next match because it was like, damn, they gotta follow this shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
a cool down spot, sadly.
Yeah.
But an argument can be made. Rhea Ripley did co-main event in her hometown, at least, though.
Yeah.
Because where else would you going to put her? If she wasn't main eventing, she was going to be the semi-main.
Well, she could have been the main event of Monday Night Raw, because guess what? Monday Night Raw is also in Perth, Australia, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this was a Raw match, but it still was. It's all right. Continue, Walter.
Yeah, so Kabuki Warriors, right out of the gate, were aggressive, attacking them, shocking, surprising Rio, and they isolated poor Io Sky for about 10 minutes straight. Rhea was not getting in this ring. They were just tagging in and out, frequent taggings. Every time she got close, they would knock Asuka off the apron. They would distract Jessica Carr so that she can't see a tag. Or they would distract Rhea, which will cause her to come in the ring illegally. And, the whole classic referee pushing her back. You can't be in here. You got to go on the outside. So, at least 10 minutes, we didn't see Rhea come in the ring right now.
Yeah, that was about right.
Yeah, so they had him, and then finally the hot tag. Rhea came like a freaking bat out of hell when she came out, attacking both people. Jessica at one point lost all. She lost all.
She lost control
of
the match
everything.
even began.
Yeah, that's true. Before the match began, But you know, never mind. I was thinking of a different match. I was gonna say the turning point, but that whole different match I was thinking of.
I'm about to say, I mean, the
Yeah.
turning point here was Mommy got the tag, and Kairi Sane sacrificed herself. She's under Asuka's manipulation, without a fear or without a loyalty. Despite the fact this match, the story front was Asuka, the senpai to Io Sky, as we still go all the way back to 2009 in Japan in the Neo Wrestling promotion. Io Sky putting her family behind her and trusting her greatest rival that might be her best friend. As we did get the win with Rhea Ripley hitting the Riptide on Kairi Sane, tagging Io Sky to finish her off with the over the moonsault as Rio won. And Asuka looked down from the outside.
The one that I think that's the one match I got wrong.
How can you bet against Rhea Ripley, dude?
I might have changed it at the last minute. I don't remember what I
at the end of the year, because since it's the ultimate event, guess what? No leaderboard update until Survivor Series War Games and the winners are declared. There's only one event left, so you guys gotta figure it out yourself.
Yep.
But then this was all right.
It's all right. I think it was hurt that it followed the AJ match. That's all it was.
Legitimately, if it wasn't for the fact that Roman Reigns' entrance had to be longer than a DoorDash order, I would have put this in the opener.
Yeah, Roman rivals Undertaker with the length of his freaking entrance. I swear.
Just got more lights and pyro to it. Anyway, again, I do think that we're going to continue this rivalry. I don't know how extreme this is going to get, but I don't think this ends until we do Asuka versus Io Sky one-on-one in some capacity, because at the end of the day, it's about Io Sky being betrayed by her family, and Rhea Ripley right now might be her only friend in WWE, despite the fact Rhea has never beaten her. So this was fun, and again, Io took a lot of the punishment. There was some strong spirit and emotion involved here at one point with Io Sky and Asuka, yelling at each other in Japanese and firefighting one another with these open palm strikes and laying in the best shot they could willingly to each other. At one point, Io Sky with a tope suicida between the ropes, diving sideways, almost falling on her head, legitimately, Jesus. And again, it was great tag team chemistry by Kabuki Warriors. The awareness of Asuka and Kairi Sane definitely came into play. At one point, they got the reverse DDT elbow drop. It wasn't for Rhea Ripley coming into play. Kabuki Warriors very well could have won there. That was prior to the critical turning point. If Rhea wasn't there for the save, that would have been the end of the match. At the end of the day, though, Rio was not losing in Australia. It was fun. And that, of course, leads us into our main event. And whether or not you switch this with the John Cena and AJ match, debatable. Go ahead and talk about
to me, Seth was like clearly a completely different person from the get-go. He was like really desperate. He just knew how much the victory needed to do for it. I feel like he was in his own way, and he really, really needed to get it. And I mean, he was raging out against announcers. He was yelling at the referee even during the intro, like the way the Alicia intro Cody. He got pissed off and got like at her. Like Rollins was in a whole different state of mind, and it just goes to show what this match meant. He knew he desperately needed this win, and he fought from underneath like most of the time. But he eventually got the upper hand. That's when you've seen him kind of get back to himself, taunting Rhodes, and he even did the freaking Stardust taunt. He did the cartwheel and did the thing, and then he tried to go for the bionic elbow, making fun of Cody. Cody was able to reverse it and show him how it's really done. Then Cody hit a crossroads that Rollins was able to kick out. He kind of did his own version of it. He hit Cody with it, but I mean, not as well put together, but he tried to do it. Then there was a point when Rollins slid out of the ring, went to the timekeeper area, I believe it was, where there was a Rolex watch in there. He was going to do something with it. He wrapped it around his fist like he was going to punch Cody. Then, in a rare moment, he actually second-guessed himself. And then said, "Nah, I'm not going to do it." And walked right into a crossroad. He put the Rolex into the corner, which will come back into play later. But Cody got him in the ring and hit the most insane avalanche crossroads out of the turnbuckle. He literally flew Rollins half across the ring with it. I have no idea how Rollins kicked out. Mind you, he had a bad shoulder at this point because he did a coast-to-coast and landed on his left shoulder when he did this coast-to-coast earlier in the match.
diving headbutt style. By
Yeah,
the way,
he didn't do the drop kick. He did a freaking headbutt when he did the coast to coast. So it's like he landed badly on his shoulder. His shoulder looked legit hurt. Like his arm was almost dead for half the match. I was glad that I saw him start moving, using it. And then you got to the finish. There was a slight ref bump. Rollins went to get the Rolex again, patted around his fist. He was in the crossroad position. As he was like this, he freaking decked Cody right to the cheek. After he decked him, he did the stomp, and then I think he did a avalanche stomp off the top rope. Yeah, he did the avalanche curb stomp off the top rope. Finally getting the 1, 2, 3 and getting that proverbial monkey off his back. Like he even addressed it to the crowd. Like, how does it feel to get that monkey off the back? It feels great. So Seth finally beating Cody Rhodes, because I would hate to have seen what happened if he couldn't win. And Vision won their match, yet their leader couldn't. Oh, we forgot to mention Paul Heyman earlier told, no matter what, you don't go out there and help. You don't help Seth. This is truly about who's the best champion versus champion, who's the best versus the best. And he made sure that the Vision would not interfere with it.
including himself.
Which was really telling about whether he truly leads this group or not.
Yeah, and another note, Seth Rollins, you can tell how much this literally stuck in his craw. His gear literally had pieces of each of his attire from each of his previous matches with Cody Rhodes. From the blue from WrestleMania 38 to the dark brown in the follow-up WrestleMania Backlash to the polka dots Dusty Rhodes gear he wore in the red Creator Hell in the Cell match, all in that same year 3 years ago. And that Rolex that Walter's talking about is that same watch that Cody gave Seth at the end of WrestleMania last year when Seth helped Cody finish his story.
Yeah, it was a gift, and he said he never even wore it until that Raw where he came out and confronted Cody. That was the first time he wore it, he said.
And then he used it to literally deck Cody Rhodes and get the win. Another point we should also mention was the awareness of Seth, despite the fact he was literally in his own head, like you said. Proverbial wrestlers block, riders block, desperation block, whatever the fuck you want to call it. At one point, catch him out of the ropes looking for either a disaster kick or a disaster kick, and he caught him in a freaking power bomb. That was ridiculous. And then, of course, like you said, out of the corner, he went for avalanche, Cody cutter. Somebody able to scout that. He hit him at one point with a pedigree and a curb stomp combination, and it still wasn't. There was a very taxing mental warfare match for Seth freaking Rollins, and that was the tail of the tape here for the entire duration of this match, with quarterback 1 versus quarterback A1 versus quarterback 1B. So it was one of those things where I did pick Cody, damn it, because I really did think that this was going to be fallout, because again, Seth has a story, Cody doesn't. So again, I would think it was Cody was going to go 2 years in a row, and then we see the dismay and the fall on Monday Night Raw. I was wrong. 4-1. Damn it. But overall, I was very impressed that Seth Rollins, even with the bump, did it all on his own. Now I call himself not only the greatest of this generation, but the greatest of all time. And you also got to consider this. He's always been looked at as a B-level champion. He's got the World Heavyweight Champion, right? The D champion, of course, the W Undisputed Champion. We always thought he's been in Phil Brooks' shadow. Maybe for the last few years, he thought was in Cody Rhodes' shadow. And maybe that was more foretelling towards Seth's importance of putting this pressure on himself to prove that he's the best in the world, the best in this business, the best of all time, to win this match. And I think Paul Heyman further influenced that, and Seth wanted that. So either way, Seth Rollins proved a point to himself, beating Cody Rhodes for the first time. We'll see what happens next. And that was Crown Jewel. And so, of course, this year's Crown Jewel champions are Stanley Valkyrie and Seth Rollins, but John Cena and AJ Styles stole the fucking night or day in Australia, depending on how you look at it. Overall, I will say this. I don't grade, as you know, but I've already heard that the guy at ESPN gave this a better grade, a far better grade. I think I gave it an A- in my personal opinion. That's saying something for WWE. It was probably my second favorite WPLE this year. And overall, this should have been the ESPN premiere.
Blew WrestlePalooza out of the freaking stratosphere. Forget the water.
Right? It's about to take blood out of the freaking earth. But that was Crown Jewel. And again, I got to admit, That was a fucking great show. But again, the women's tag match, that should have been on Monday Night Raw. All right, let's go ahead and get y'all's thoughts. Thank you, Walter. Great job with the recap. Let's go around the horn and get y'all's thoughts towards this. James, what's your thoughts towards WWE Crown Jewel based on our recap outside your excitement on what we talked about with John Cena and AJ Styles?
Happy for Cena and Styles. Happy for Cody and Seth. Man, everything else. To be honest. That's all I could give. I gave my thoughts on Cena and Styles, and I'm happy that they got to, close that chapter of their career out on their terms. I think that's really fucking cool. So,
yeah. All right. Fair enough. Thank you for that. Nick, as you lay back, relaxing, thinking about your next Wendy's order, why don't you lend some thoughts towards, again, WWE Crown Jewel based on our recap? We already know how you are towards this company, and again, we respect your opinion, your outlooks, but go ahead and lend some food for thought. What do you have to say regarding Crown Jewel?
Sounds like it was a good show. I mean, because I was out all day, I didn't get to watch the entire show.
Fair enough.
I saw bits and pieces of it. Okay. You guys are gonna look at me. You guys are gonna think that I'm talking shit because I've already had other people tell me I'm talking shit.
What do you guys say?
I did not like the Cena Styles match. And I feel the eyes are already rolling, but I thought they just spammed finishers. I didn't.
Can I? All right. Okay.
All right.
Oh, you're
to be fair,
Lampish, time out.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
finish.
To be
Because I got a
fair-
rebuttal.
To be
I'm gonna tell
fair,
Llamas too.
if this was AEW, I'd be saying the exact same thing. So I don't want
Okay.
people. I don't want people to be like coming at me and be like, "Oh, where's the same energy?" No, if they were doing this in AEW, I'd call it out too. I already had people tell me. I already had people telling me, "Well, then if you didn't like this match, then it wouldn't be. Then you wouldn't. Then how do you like a Will Ospreay match?" Well, I don't see Will Ospreay spamming finishers. I see him doing his moves.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, Stormbreaker is like a one-time move. He is actually on point there, but continue.
Like,
okay.
I've already had that comment made to me. I don't know. I did not enjoy it because, again, I looked at it as them just spamming finishers. Felt like we were playing 2K24 and just fucking just hitting the X button, just boop 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 boop. Now, if they, I think the match was like 9 minutes. I think I would have been okay with it if it was like a 20-minute, like they took their time with it and like gave us a good amount of time. But yeah, no, I watched it and thought that they were just spamming finishers. So, other than that, go ahead.
I only have one question. Does that mean you hated the first FTR Young Bucks match? Because that was also them spamming tag finishers. I'm just saying. Like,
I will be honest with you. I have a brain of a goldfish, so I don't remember. I don't remember
Fair enough.
what happened in that match.
You did also have cocaine earlier, so I mean, you know.
We don't endorse drugs here, James.
I don't know.
It's a joke.
Well, people take jokes out of context, especially on this fucking oversensitive internet.
Oh, don't I know? Don't I know?
Yeah, that's fair.
James, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about flour. You must have been drinking tonight, sir. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, Nick, are you done, or is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, no, I mean, from what I saw, the amount I saw, I thought it was all right. I would go with Hale's assessment of giving the show a B.
Okay, fair enough. Well, it's still far better than a sea like Wrestlepalooza was, and even then, I think it was too generous. All right, well, thank you for that. Let's go to JJ next, and then we'll finish things out with Ash. JJ, hello, good sir. What's your thoughts towards WWE Crown Jewel? Before you say anything, I'm also going to say this regarding Nick's comment. Here's the thing, Nick. It wasn't about necessarily getting a win to the finish. It was about honoring their legacies towards the business. Simple as that. And you don't do that in any other match unless it's truly not false fucking marketing. Your last time ever. Go ahead, JJ. Speak your thoughts towards Crown Jewel.
First of all, I'm going to say that I'm glad that Nick said that he would call it out for AEW as well, because I was immediately going to chime in and be like, isn't that 95% of AEW's matches is spamming fucking finishers and kickouts of finishers and shit? Like,
to be fair,
how can he be an AEW fan if that's 95% of the matches, and that's why he didn't like this match? You know?
That's not only AEW. That is New Japan. That is Stardom. That is Japanese strong style. Anyway, continue, JJ.
So it's every company that AEW also partners with. Okay, so
pretty much.
That's an industry problem, to be honest.
It is true.
It's a problem that began on the independents.
Yes.
Because independent promotions needed to give the fans that holy shit mentality to draw them back for the next month's show.
Exactly.
And the Young Bucks, being EVPs, kayfabe, not in kayfabe anymore, whatever, but being founding fathers of this promotion and bringing that style to the forefront of AEW is why AEW does it so much. And I've said that from the jump. To Noah's point, Nick, they were spamming finishers because they were paying tribute to other people. Cena's paying tribute to people that he's fought, like Orton, who he's already fought this run, that he's fought in the past, and people that he can't fight. Can't have another match with Bray Wyatt. Dude's dead.
Yeah, no,
So hold on, Nick. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get my points out. I respectfully was quiet through everyone else's.
That's right. I'm going to make sure other people are quiet too, or otherwise I'm taking it off screen. Continue, JJ.
Yes.
You know, and AJ has basically said that he's done early next year. Maybe Mania is his final go.
Possibly.
So, again, assuming that we're not being worked by Alan, AJ, whatever you want to call him, and that he's going to immediately turn around and go to AEW, this is going to be it for them. So for AJ to pull out the stops that I'm hearing that he did, Daniels, Joe, Frankie, that makes perfect sense for me as well. Like, there's no better opponents for them to do that with than each other.
Yep.
There's so much history with those two,
yeah,
and they shaped the independence basically as we know it. Without Cena and Styles, there is no fucking independence. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, he's accurate there. I'm not going to argue that. Anyway, continue, JJ.
And like I said, whether I was being snarky or the haha or whatever, that's a lot of what turns me off about AEW's matches is the spamming of finishers and the kickouts and the false finishes. It's okay to do that every now and again on a major stage. All Out, Forbidden Door, WrestleMania. Okay, because that's a Super Bowl level event where that holy shit, that should have been it and it wasn't, is warranted.
Mm-hmm.
When you see it every week, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, Collision, Impact, it desensitizes the fan to it. I have no issue with it as long as it's being done right and for the right reasons. And this match sounds like it was for the right reasons.
It was.
Yep. As far as the Rhea Ripley, the fact that Rhea Ripley was the cool-down match in her home country literally makes me want to cry.
Yeah, me too. No, me too.
Like
I'm
I
mad.
get the slant that was put on it. Like, well, at least she semi-main evented her home country. But being sandwiched between Cena, AJ, and Cody Seth just isn't right.
Bro, this woman was
like
the
they
women's
should have.
world
James,
Sorry.
you talked already.
My bad. Oh man.
As much as I hate to say it, they should have had the women's crown jewel match in that slot.
Mm-hmm.
That way, at least you have the 2 crown jewel title matches back to back. And you're giving the semi-main event to 2 huge up-and-comers in Stephanie Vaquera and Tiffany Stratton. See if they can handle the pressure of getting the crowd back after that type of match. And Rhea is either crowd opener or second match out before the entire air is sucked out of the building by AJ and Cena. Those 4 women had, excuse the bad Vince McMahon pun here, no chance in hell after Cena Styles.
No.
I disagree that it's a Raw match, only because I still think we may get Stephanie versus Rhea on Raw for the title because we're in the home country of Australia. It's something we talked about for a while because we didn't know if they were going to do the Crown Jewel title matches, and they can still have Rhea main event Stephanie in her home country before coming back to the States. But it literally brings a tear to my eye, the fact that those women had no chance. It's a damn shame. As far as the rest of it all goes, I went 5-0 for the morning. I could give a fuck else about the rest of it. Sorry about your damn luck, Noah.
Fuck you!
We got to get you a belt, JJ. We got to get you a belt.
No, because I'm doing horribly in all the leagues. I can't have a belt to brag about the fact that I went 5-0 in the show that's supposed to be the Saudi show.
Yeah, we can.
That's not bragging rights. That's another horribly named pay-per-view.
Yeah, we don't talk about that shit.
I appreciate you trying to give me the kudos there, but I do enjoy the fact that I'm able to rub into Noah that I went undefeated on this show because I knew that Seth was going to win. To the point that was made, I think, on Simply Predicting. If Seth loses, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah,
you can't have him go 0-4 against Cody, and especially with him running this vision. This is supposed to be the dominant group on Raw. And if we're going to build into War Games, you've got to give freaking Seth the dub here. Team Seth versus Team Babyface. The Vision versus Team Babyface.
Yeah.
Cody, Punk, Roman, maybe Jay. Insert fifth name here.
Yeah.
You know? It's got to be that way.
All right, fair enough. Also, congrats. Also, fuck you. All right. Well, thank you for your thoughts there.
I was gonna say,
Dave, if you're trying to speak, go ahead and lend some extra thoughts before I give it to Ash.
Yeah, I only have one thing to say. JJ, we can give you a belt, just like WWE gave Seth Rollins and Stephanie Vaquera belts. We'll just give you the Crown Jewel title, and that can be your trophy. We're going 5-0.
Good luck.
And that's the other point. That's the other point is the fans would have turned on Cody in a heartbeat if he won the Crown Jewel title 2 years in a row.
Yeah, this is true.
At least this way, we're 2 years in, 2 different champions. The belt has changed hands, so to speak, every year at Crown Jewel.
Well, at least
We started to go on this run where Cody was Crown Jewel champion 2, 3, 4, 5 years in a row. Oh my God. The WWE fans would turn on him, and the few AEW fans that he has left as one of the founding fathers would just shit all over it as well.
But JJ,
call it like it is.
It could be the new streak.
No.
Oh, even as a Cody fan, that made me fucking crease.
Stop
Holy
giving
shit.
me more ammo to hate on Cody Rhodes because I'm Queen Cody
God.
Rhodes here.
All right, fair enough. Well, thank you, JJ, and thank you, James. All right, Ash, let's land your thoughts. We saved, of course, the fair lady for last. What's your thoughts towards WWE Crown Jewel based on everything you've heard?
This was a fun show. I watched it and I enjoyed it. The opening match was fun. I think I had more fun watching it with my mom because she's a big Roman Reigns fan and I love how she reacts to all of his matches. I even actually recorded her reacting to it. I haven't asked her if I can upload it to YouTube yet, so probably not, but yeah.
Fair enough.
Trying to remember the match card. Okay, so
Women's Crown Jewel Championship was next after the Australian Street Fight.
And then that followed up by the Cena AJ match, right?
Yes.
Those two were everything I love in pro wrestling. Those two matches were everything I love in pro wrestling. Especially like the AJ Cena match. Okay, I will say this. There's discourse about spamming finishers and whatnot. There's a time and place for it. Mm-hmm. Pay-per-views, absolutely call for it. TV episodes, not so much unless there's really high stakes involved, like a title opportunity, a number one contenders, or blood feud. Those are the three exceptions on the TV episodes for like these finisher spammings and whatnot.
Agree.
Because every match, I don't want to make it sound like I want every match to be the same because I don't. I want a variety of things, okay? Because I hate when things get like little samey, even though they're like different people, the matches still feel the same, it's one of those reasons why I rarely watch the weekly shows, both AEW and WWE, because it gets to the point where every single match starts feeling the same, and it gets to the point where I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go watch the pay-per-views, and if I go in blind, I'm going in blind, and maybe that makes me, because sometimes like going into like pay-per-views blind, I get excited to watch the follow up the next day, and sometimes it turns me into watching weekly again. So that's how I am towards pro wrestling.
Yeah, it's a moderated approach, and I approve of that because for the longest time I looked at WWE television like that because every WWE match felt the same way: rest, break, commercial, rest, hold, finish, the end.
Yeah. It's misfortunate where the spot was for the women's tag match, but it was good for what it was. It did what it needed to. Mm-hmm. It told a decent story. And that's all you can ask for in that match. And the hometown girl got the win, even if she didn't get the pin. Yeah. And I can't comment on the Cody Rhodes match because I saw Cody Rhodes main eventing. I'm like, oh, Cody Rhodes main eventing? Nope. I'm good.
James Hebert? Nope. Damn.
What? Oh,
all right,
you didn't even give that a chance. I didn't know you were that much of a Cody Rhodes hater. Damn.
Hey, she expresses herself, and we approve of it because we all have that moment where we have to go off the screen and just simply say,
"Yeah, that's fair. That's fair."
I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. Like, just okay. I know you guys feel the way you do about Cody Rhodes. Me, I don't know what it is that I just can't get into it. I just can't. Like, nothing. He does nothing for me.
Well, interesting.
I don't know what it is about it. And I felt this way about Cody Rhodes ever since his debut, by the way.
Oh, okay. So like what, in 2007?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. No, that's a deep-rooted,
yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
And the sad part is, it's like, Cody, okay, this is how deep-rooted my Cody Rhodes hate is.
Oh, boy.
You know how much I told you, like, I used to watch Ring of Honor, right?
Yes, of course.
I stopped watching the moment he became champion.
Damn. Wow.
Because it's like, oh, cool, Cody's the champ. He's going to be the center of the show. I'm going to get so much Cody Rhodes. Yeah, fuck that noise. Nope.
So, did you at least watch
TNA? Haven't seen you in a while. How's
did you at least watch Final Battle when Dalton Castle won it back?
I've heard about it, but at that point it was too late for my doing, because also most of the people I enjoyed watching in ROH happened to be in NXT as well, so that kind of factored into that as well.
Yeah, that's accurate. Of course, that was my NXT. Anyway, fair enough. All right, well, Ash, thank you for that. And as Walter so there go, great recap, by the way. Yeah, again, like I said, I thought it was one of my second most favorite WWE of the year, right under Evolution, which me and Ash called. But the thing I would have done with the card is this. The Australian Street Fight was literally made this Monday. Do we really need that when you're going to be in Australia on Monday Night Raw? That should have been Rhea's spot. Put Rhea in the opener because, God forbid, Roman Reigns cannot be opener, closer. He has to be one of those two. He can't be anything different. You can't put him mid-card. You can't put him second. You can't put him second to last. The Street Fight should have been the cool down, in my opinion, because it was never but a gimmick crash. The only Australian weapon was a fucking cricket bat, for Pete's sake. Anyway, but as far as the women's tag match goes,
The critty ball, like
oh,
the
that's
rugby
right, the
ball.
cricket balls that he tried to throw at Paul Heyman at one point got caught in the ropes. Again, you did say Ramirez was never a quarterback, so there you go. Then again, he never played rugby either. Then again, Rhea Ripley, I believe, was a former rugby player, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I would have had the women be the opener, and I get Jenny's point about the Crown Jewel champions being back to back. But when it comes to gimmick-based situations like this that we're supposed to have these huge standards, I feel like you need to separate them to a degree. I look back at King and Queen of the Ring. I look at Double or Nothing for the Owen, start and end. But here's the thing. What's more important here? Rhea Ripley's homecoming or a proverbial Super Bowl ring? I say Rhea Ripley's homecoming. So I probably would have put Rhea Ripley in the opener, if not the dead middle of the card. Because bottom line, Cena and freaking AJ is top that shit. You're not topping it. Simple as that. I don't care what the story is. I don't care who's wrestling. That match, that application, with that type of freaking match being played out to celebrate and honor legacy, you're not topping that shit. Period. I was pretty much like, okay, we're done. Oh, wait, we still have 2 more matches. Fuck. So yeah, I think I would have did like the freaking Rhea match opener, women's Crown Jewel second, Cena and AJ third, and freaking put a cool down match there that's not Rhea Ripley, and then did Cody and Seth last, because at the end of the day, Seth freaking Rollins' descent into utter madness and desperation was probably the most desperate story here of the entire bout. And I can understand why they closed with that. Hell, took the mic from Kathy Kelly, said, get out of here. You don't have to interview me. I don't need your questions. But overall, I thought Crown Jewel was a good show. I still hate the S+ service because I'm like, why we got 3-minute commercial breaks on a pay-per-view is beyond me, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. I enjoyed the show for what it was worth. And again, Cena and AJ, thank you. JJ, your perfect score. Fuck you. Cody and Seth, though, again, good story. And I wish that the women got more out of their match, honestly. Maybe it was a singles match instead. Rhea Ripley and Asuka with Io and Kevin in the corner. Maybe it would have been more respected and maybe would have gotten a better spot. But this tag was like, meh. But that being said, Crown Jewel, good stuff. All right, well, that concludes all the wrestling up to this point outside what was literally just covered, I believe, by JJ and James, right? Was it JJ and James that did it? Or
JJ, me, and Ryan. And
all
Nick
right.
for the main event.
All right, cool. Well, I think we'll close with that. So after this commercial break, there's only one last thing to cover with all the wrestling. When we return, we'll be talking about some fights that happened here. So stay tuned on the other side of this commercial break. Where once again, get a drink, get a liaki, and get ready for the finale. Because afterwards here, as Walter's about to GTS, and I don't blame him, and the clock ticks down how long I got to deal with y'all, we're going to finish things out with one more show to discuss. So again, check this out.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And truly here, if you're tuning in just now here at the Cibaba Studios, we Chris and ourselves, we love to pontificate, analyze, criticize, look at, engage, cover, and react to all of the wrestling. And welcome back here once again to the Saturday Shenanigans. You got Fantastic Five. You want to call it that. That's what the Cruz went bye-bye. But stay tuned for me and him covering TNA Bound for Glory this Sunday night. We got Hebert, we got JJ, we got the Canadian Connection. We're about to finish things out with the last show we've been covering this entire week and on the weekend. Prior to Bound for Glory, you all have one more show that we covered, which was GCW Fight Club, night 1, as I know there is another night to come. So, JJ, let's go ahead and let you spearhead this conversation. Talk to us about GCW. What happened tonight?
Well, shit, if I knew I was going to be spearheading this, I would have taken notes.
Well, you got a tag partner, if nothing else, but do your best memory.
Overall, it was a solid night of violence and action.
Yep.
Things started off with Teriyaki versus Tony Deppen, which was very, to put it in terms that casual fans would get into, think Rey Mysterio, Dean Malenko.
Yes.
High flyer technical matchup here. The beginning parts of the contest were very reminiscent of like RVD Jerry Lynn, as far as going move for move, counter for counter, stalemate, before we finally started to get into the meat and potatoes of the contest. As we started to enter the go home, Teriyaki got a little bit sloppy in his execution. Not sure if he was just getting excited or if he was a little blown up. It's independent wrestling. It's going to happen. You don't hold it to the same standard that you would, one of the major companies, but you could definitely tell that he was missing a couple of beats here and there against Tony Deppen. Solid contest. Teriyaki got the victory. Good way to open up the show. James, anything you want to add on that one?
I tend to agree with that. I thought it was a very solid opener. I thought they delivered, and I think Teriyaki is really, really good. And I'm talking about, yes.
From there, we went to KJ Orso versus Man Like Darius.
Yeah.
Again, KJ showing why he's the heel that you love to hate. KJ showing why in just a couple of short months, he did enough dastardly heel work to be nominated for Heel of the Year, even though he spent the majority of our voting period as a babyface, as Fuego. Because you figure our voting goes to the end of August, and he turned heel in May.
Mm-hmm.
That's how short of a time he's been heel. And he's done enough dastardly deeds to be considered Heel of the Year. Put stuff into perspective.
Impressive.
Give me Darius versus Teriyaki any day of the week. I think 100%. They'd be a phenomenal contest or a team.
Yep.
But KJ needed a big dub here.
Yep.
And he stole one.
Yes, he did. Indeed, stole one. I will say, as far as Darius's performances over this weekend, I think this is really good too for a different reason. Came out, cut a babyface promo on KJ, and he's so unique that this dude should be everywhere on the main scene right now. I think this dude has star qualities written all over him. Now, I'm biased because I like KSI, I like drill rap, I like Stormzy, I like JME. Like I'm a big drill head, so I like Man Like Darius as a result. But I do think that the way he is presenting himself, I think it has a very nice appeal to it. It's something that nobody's ever been exposed to, at least in the wrestling sense before. A gimmick like that. Yeah, I know. Somebody was going to do that. I think it could really get over on a mainstream level.
I 100% agree. In the comparison that I made on the call, and then I'll throw it to Ash because I saw her hand up.
Yes.
Reese reminds me of 2000, 2001 K Quick.
Yes.
Before he morphed into Ron the Truth Killings in NWA TNA.
Yes.
But the presentation, the rapping to the ring, like everything about Reese screams "Get Rowdy K Quick" to me.
Yes.
What's up, Ash?
I was about to ask, like, say on the off chance Doris does sign to WWE, do you think his gimmick would work, or would he have to change so much of it?
I think it could work because K Quick was able to get over there. Personally, I'd like to see him go to TNA because then you could put boisterous behavior together because his tag partner on the indie scene is Leon Slater.
Ooh,
Yes. Then you've got another tag team in TNA's tag division. And with the crossover, you've got a tag team that can challenge for the NXT tag titles.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
That's what I'd really like to see because we've seen boisterous behavior in action here on, I want to say it was the Rumble on the River show that they did here recently when they were in outdoors in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
It was one of the shows that weekend, but they're good as a unit together. Everyone praises Leon Slater in the X division. I can totally see why him and Doris are a tag team, having seen them paired together. Leon Slater even showed a few heel tendencies when teaming with Doris in that match because felt a little disrespected and he wasn't going to get pushed around. It was a different side of Leon than we see on TNA television on a regular basis.
Yep.
So I definitely would be down for that, especially if it leads to an expansion in the Slater character.
Yeah.
I get down with that. I like that aspect. Please continue.
From there, we went to, I believe, the 6-person scramble. And this was the first card subject to change for the evening because this was an addition. And Joey Janela had been pulled from the main event War Games match to be put into this scramble. So we all pretty much knew from the outset Joey Janela was going to win because it was Joey Janela versus 6 jobbers.
Yeah.
GCW and stuff.
Doesn't even matter. Janela was the least of the story because even though he did get the W, he made some of these guys look like $1 million. And again, I've said it a few times about Janela since getting into GCW. I don't understand people's hatred for him. I'm starting to think that Joey Janela is just like the Nickelback of independent wrestling.
Yep.
It's cool to hate him.
Yeah,
there's no real reason to hate him.
It's just
Secretly,
cool too.
when we're driving in our cars, we're rocking out to How You Remind Me or Photograph or you know, Burn to the Ground. But when we get around our buddies, we've got to act like fuck those guys. Nickelback suck.
Nickelback.
It's kind of the same thing with Joey Janela because ever since the Clusterfuck Battle Royal, when he put over Brody Lee Jr., I've been praising Joey Janela and giving back to the industry and knowing the right moments to make other people look good and not just think about yourself. And despite getting the dub here, Janela did that again. He took a Spanish fly from like a 350-pound dude and sold the fuck out of it. Like this dude did not look like he would be all that athletic. And he was the high spot, literally, of the match for me, Ryan and James.
Yeah.
He was the show stealer.
Dude. Will Cruz.
Kroos. Look him up. Will Cruz.
Bro, I need this man in like mainstream wrestling tomorrow. I'm telling you, I've never seen a man of his size, and trust me, that's a huge bitch, move as huge or move as well and as fluid as he does for his age.
Mm-hmm.
He's crisp, he's smooth. This dude gets psychology. He knows when to hit shit, how to hit shit. how to look like a goddamn world beater. This dude should be signed tomorrow. That's how good he was tonight. I thought nothing of him when he came out. JJ had the same
We
thing.
were all kind of clowning him because this dude looked like he did not belong.
Yeah, he was.
And he proved he did.
He looked out of shape, and then he's like, haha, little did you know this is all water weight. And fucking just had the show-stealing performance of a lifetime. Ryan said it best on call. He maximized his minutes, and he became a star in this match. And with 6 fucking people or 5 other people he has to contend with, that's really hard to fucking do.
Yeah, and especially when you're in there with somebody who's a known star like Joey Janela.
Yeah.
But to my point, Janela knew when to give other people their shine and made sure to stay on the outside, stay on the apron, maybe oversell a little bit in some of the punishments so that these young kids can get their opportunities to maximize their minutes. He already knew he was winning the match. He could have gone in there, squashed him under 5 minutes like an OG Goldberg match. But that does nothing for nobody, and it does nothing for the future of the business.
Bro, he
even called Cruz and one other guy back to the ringside area after the match. Not on the microphone or anything. We thought he was going to get on the mic, but he kind of motioned to the curtain and called them back and put them over to the crowd like, hey, these guys are people to watch.
Yeah.
Mad respect to Joey Janela. I think I made the right investment when I went to my homecoming show.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with JJ's assessment of this match. I pretty much co-sign everything with what he said. 2 spots you have to see from him. Every spot, quite honestly. But the 2 in particular, the first spot he made an impression on, the craziest fucking pounce I've ever seen in my life. Mind you, they had the War Game set up with 2 rings in the arena, in the showboat. Mm-hmm. So he pounces, I believe it was Ryan Clancy, pounces this motherfucker, and he bounces through the fucking ropes, and like it's the gnarliest looking fucking spot I've seen when it comes to a pounce ever in the history of pounces. And we're talking about some of the best Monty Brown pounces don't even come close to this. That's how good this pounce was.
Damn.
Then he hits the most, and I mean the most picture-perfect Spanish fly I've ever seen in my life. Mind you, this dude is damn near 330 pounds. He's massive.
Sounds like you're putting him up there with Keith Lee for his limitless potential.
He legitimately is, I feel, limitless. This guy is the next Keith Lee's, the next Donovan Dijaks, the next big man, agile wrestler of the nowadays. By the way, he also hit like a great greetings from Asbury Park, like a great take on it. It was like the sickest one I've seen anybody ever do. Like, this kid has it. He has it. Like, sign him. Sign him tomorrow. And JJ, yeah, here we go. Look at how big this dude is. Look at this.
Lord.
Look at that.
Oh, Jesus.
Look at that, bro.
Wow.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Look at this. It's unfreaking real.
That is mighty impressive.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And again, you have to see the rest of his performance in this match. Like, go out of your way to watch this and watch out for Will Cruz. Watch for this kid. I'm telling you, he's going to make some fucking waves. And I'm not saying that because he's huge, although that's also part of the joke. If that's a huge bitch, and I can say that because I'm a huge bitch. So there you go. Shout out Will Cruz. Like, mazel tov. Well done.
From there, we started to get into the more violent portion of the show.
Here we go.
This is the part that all the viewers of the watch-alongs love the most because we get to see James squirm like a schoolgirl who's watching blood get drawn from them at the doctor's office. So it was originally supposed to be Emerson Jane versus Drew Parker.
I don't
Drew
like
Parker
it.
was removed from this match to replace Joey Janela in the War Games match, and instead was replaced by Otis Cogar, or as Ryan and James call him, Cogar Ball.
Cogar Bald.
This match now is to see who gains entry into the Nick Gage Invitational Tournament in December. And Otis Cogar more or less beats the shit out of Emerson Jane and gets the spot. It's not without it being a hard-fought battle. Emerson Jane is one bad bitch.
Yes.
She is.
Everybody was kind of afraid when they saw that it was going to be Tremont versus Billy Starks a while back at the same show, that Rumble in the River show I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
And it ended up getting thrown out and turned into something else. People were kind of going into this match similarly scared because Otis Cogar went to the finals of the Tournament of Survival against Tremont earlier this year. And we really kind of didn't know what to expect from Emerson Jane. But when she came out there in her camouflage fatigues and everything, I was like, okay, this chick is walking with a purpose. She's walking like she's a bad bitch not to be fucked with. Unlike, no disrespect to Billy Starks. Billy Starks, I'm sure, can take some of those hardcore beatdowns, but this looked like a grizzled veteran bitch. So Otis was a good compliment to her in an intergender match. But at the end of the day, Otis Cogar got the dub here. And I see big things for him going into the Nick Gage Invitational because of how far he went with Tremont during TOS this year. And I was telling the boys on commentary, I think Otis is who needs to dethrone Tremont for the Ultraviolent title.
Yeah.
The last person to pin Tremont, granted it was in a multi-man match.
Tag match, yeah. Yeah, it was.
They went to the finals of TOS, which Tremont won, and then Otis got his come up in the tag match. So this would be the rubber between them to see if Otis could actually capture the title, and I think he's the guy that has to do it. But this was a great intergender contest.
Yeah,
I wouldn't expect anything less from Emerson J. Emerson J is the name I know from, of course, the UK. She's as violent as Riho or Rina Yamashita, who's now teaming with Suzu Suzuki at times in Stardom and the Freedoms promotion. So I knew you were in for a hardcore bitch when she came to your screen.
I like Miyu Yamashita. I wish she would come back to GCW soon. She's been MIA, I think, since the Top Play, which was nominated for Match of the Year.
Yeah. I want
Miyu back.
I gotta ask you, are Rhea Yamashita and Miyu Yamashita related?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, because they seem different, but they had the same last name. So I was just curious. All right, thank you for answering that question.
You're welcome. Continue.
From there, we went to. I flip-flopped. My bad. We had the one called Manders and Beastman. That was before the Otis Cogar match.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yes.
This was big meaty men slapping meat at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Manders is a hoss, Stan Hansen, lariat type of dude, if you've never seen him.
Yes.
Beastman, I believe the quote Brian used was he was 2 generations from walking on all fours.
Just for the record, his gimmick is that he is no other way to do this, so I gotta do the gimmick. Nobody else will. Captain Caveman is basically what his gimmick is. Comes out with the fucking bone even and all, like the Captain Caveman, like cartoon bone.
So
I'm bummed that Walter isn't here because I got the joke corny pun in about how Beastman was trying to make Manders choke on his bone.
Dude, it was funnier than shit. It was the best. Ryan hit with a zinger, bro. Like he was zinging the last couple shows. Ryan's coming into his own. Him and Walter should have a joke off. We should just have them commentate a match and do.
It's like Ryan and James were already great chemistry because they're longtime friends. But I feel like Ryan is coming into his own as far as like a commentator goes.
Yeah,
he's starting to feel more comfortable doing that type of stuff. Because to James's point, like he had some good ones tonight, but me being there, I was able to get a couple of cracks in, and that was probably my joke of the night right there, trying to make him choke on his bone.
That was best. That was the
but yeah, this was just a big hoss fight, big meaty men slapping meat. Nothing to write home about. It was a standard Manders match, but Manders got the dub here, and me and James have become fond of Manders, so we were glad to see him get the dub here.
We love us some Manders. Shout out the WXW champion.
And that brings us to the main event, the Art of War Games match.
I don't like it.
This was essentially
Bleeding
a
assholes.
War Games death match. So in one reign, you had your standard GCW weapons. Look at Ash. Look at the way Ash sat up. She's got her hands clasped under her chin. She's like, tell me more.
Ash,
She wants to hear.
Ash, is it safe to say you're feeling a certain feeling right now?
We know that she likes violence, so I would not be surprised if she starts getting a tingle here with some of this stuff. But that's a whole.
You know how I am with technical wrestling?
Yes.
Deathmatch gives me that same feeling times 2.
I mean, I may be a masochist, but there is a certain level of masochism that I actually do hold a threshold too.
I meant like in excitement levels. I meant excitement levels, not the ones your guys are thinking of. Get out of your head, perverts.
I know that. I wasn't thinking
I say,
like
Ash,
that.
we all know you, and I know you're speaking to the chat, but you also know I watch Japanese death matches, and those are pretty much the damnedest death matches you can watch. So I'm very curious how they elaborate this. Go ahead.
So,
please carry on.
One reign was essentially the typical GCW weapon. There were light tubes hanging. There were doors that substitute as tables.
Freaking doors.
We like to refer them as a door bridge because then we can make alter bridge jokes.
And
a door bridge, alter bridge.
And
then
three
once
doors.
3 doors have been destroyed, well, that's 3 doors down.
Yeah.
I
So
live in
there-
that band.
So there's ways we can make our own little joke there, and then the other half of the ring was deathmatch taken to the extreme. There was glass across the top of it. There was boxes with chicken wire, like spider webbing through it. There was all this other chaos. And unlike a standard War Games, which is one fall to a finish, this actually was elimination.
Oh my God.
So you couldn't eliminate anyone until all people were involved. But then elimination was pinfall, submission, or being thrown out of the cage to make things a little bit more extreme.
I like this.
And I will say that even though he got eliminated, Mr. Danger on the GCW side was definitely the main highlight reel worthy. Take a look at these clips.
Oh,
let's see
Jesus.
here. So
We have
Mr.
clips?
Danger is on a. What in the world is about to happen here?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God!
Hey. Hey.
Whoa!
Damn.
Good night.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it go one more time.
Remember how I said bleeding assholes?
Oh, salt drop through the glass.
Fuck me.
Fuck yeah.
That
And
was
then-
a bad spot.
That was the fucking craziest one. I'm shocked he didn't have like an actual like giant shard of glass through his liver, dude. Like that
Right?
could have gone so
Yes.
bad.
Yo, that's fucking gnarly in both senses of the word. God damn.
Yeah, that's on the
Right?
goddamn show right there.
Right,
Damn
Ash? Like, it's gnarly because it's like, holy shit, they just did that. And it's gnarly and like how the violence, that sucks.
I like violence. This
But yeah, and then watching James squirm through it all was just hilarious. And
I wasn't the only one.
I made the point on commentary. We have been covering GCW since April. You would think he would be a little bit used to this by now. They do at least one of these matches every show. And James and I called an entire deathmatch tournament. And he still gets this wigged out by some of this.
Yep.
It's hilarious to me, and it's hilarious to the viewers.
That's dope.
Even to Charles's point, he loved the match, and it made it even better that James was scared.
See, I would have been like Vampiro from Lucha Underground. I would have just been salivating and enjoying the carnage in front of me. I would be the absolute opposite. So I'm glad you have this perspective on your show. Continue.
It was just. I don't want to use this phrasing because I feel like it makes the match lighter than it was, but it was a really entertaining match. Like, it may make me sound sick and sadistic, and maybe I am a little bit. But at the same time, there was actually story here.
Yeah.
It wasn't just 10 guys that got thrown into a War Games because we had to sell tickets to a War Games match.
Gee, I wonder what
This
he's
has
referring
been
to.
building since Tournament of Survival this year, since this past June, when the JCW guys initially invaded and attacked the guys, leading to a parking lot brawl, a legitimate parking lot brawl out into the streets of Atlantic City, New Jersey. It then carried over to Matt Tremont winning the Juggalo Championship Wrestling title. It then carried over to the 2-day war, where even though each team won a night, it ended up even at the end of it all because they won the same number of matches. YDNP picked up the JCW tag titles on night 1. Tremont lost the JCW world title back to Too Tough Tony on night 2. Then it builds to the dreaded Riddle Box match, where the Brothers of Construction take the JCW titles back, as well as capturing YDNP's GCW tag titles. Now they got both belts. Then it builds up to Homecoming, where they come and the initial challenge is laid out for this match, and we're going to be back here for the Art of War Games. You bring your best, we'll bring our best, and we'll settle this in War Games. But the Juggalos still have the GCW tag titles. That'll be decided tomorrow night.
Yep.
I don't know if both sets of belts are on the line or if it's just one. The graphic doesn't make that clear. But I'm praying it's just the GCW tag titles, because if it's both, I have a feeling this is going to go longer. I want this to kind of end. Right now, we're still tied. Even though the War Games match should have been the deciding factor, the fact that it was on night 1 and the tag titles are on night 2 means that that match will decide who wins the war.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And YDNP, me and James's tag team of the year, despite how he praises main event as like 1B, YDNP is still our 1A.
Yeah, 100%.
They have the opportunity to be that deciding nail in the coffin of the Juggalos tomorrow. What happens? You'll have to tune in tomorrow when James and Ryan do that watch along, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, so 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, ahead of Bound for Glory.
Mm-hmm.
But this match was the damnedest thing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it made sense.
Yeah.
Everything, The only thing that didn't make sense to me, the only critique I can have, nitpick I can have, is a couple of the participants in the match didn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why Drew Parker was thrown in there. I feel like it should have been Janela. Because when you think of faces of GCW, Joey Janela is one of the names you think of.
He's the first name I think of outside Nick Gage.
Well, and Nick Gage hasn't been active for a while because he's been in rehab getting himself right.
Good
But
for
the
him.
three names I think of as the faces of GCW since I started watching are Janela, Tremont, and Effie. Tremont was in the match. Effie was in the match. Janela was not.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I feel like that was a slight. I don't understand some of the people on the GCW side of things or the JCW side of things either, but I'm not that familiar with the Juggalos.
Yeah.
So why, some of those people, why was cocaine in this? I feel like that was a ha-ha that didn't need to be made.
And for those who
Granted,
don't know,
him doing a line of cocaine in the middle of the match was hilarious.
On a light tube, by the
But
way.
it was unnecessary in the grander scheme of things.
No, at all.
Luigi Primo, I know as kind of a bigger name for JCW. He's a ha-ha character too, but it would have been made more sense to me if he was out there. You know what I mean? Doing his pizza shtick, maybe slapping someone with the pizza dough, using that as a weapon. It would have been stupid. It would have been ha-ha, but it wouldn't have been a mood killer like doing a line of coke off a light tube.
I don't know. That wasn't a mood killer for me. That was funnier than shit for me. But
So that's my only critique of it. But I thoroughly enjoyed this card. I think every match delivered. And the War Games match showed what you can do with the War Games, even in extreme War Games, when their story evolved.
Yeah.
Who cares if you like the Juggalos or you don't? I've never been an ICP fan, and I've never really cared about the Juggalo culture. But ever since they showed up at TOS, I've been invested in the angle. They've made me care. Yep. I've come to enjoy some of the people from JCW. And I can't be a complete Juggalo hater because my longtime buddy, Willie Mack, was on their side in the War Games tonight.
Yes.
But I've become a fan of Too Tough Tony, the grizzled vet that he is. I've become a fan of Big Al Alice Crowley. I think James is spot on when he says that YDNP's feud was supposed to be with the Backseat Boys, but one of them got injured, and then it got moved to Brothers of Construction as the backup plan.
And I'm telling you,
spot on, dude. YDNP versus
100%.
Backseat Boys would have been a fucking banner.
And I think that had the potential to beat the top play match if they actually had those cards play out the way they were supposed to.
And I've become a fan of Brothers of Construction. I can get why Ryan doesn't care for them. I can get his disdain at the Riddle Box match. The Riddle Box match did nothing for me. But the Brothers of Construction really sports entertain me. I find the gimmick enjoyable. Freaking Ronald McDonald and Bozo the Clown out there as fucking like deathmatch wrestlers.
That's a way to put it.
Well, seriously, because they're out there in like the oversized clown shoes. You think about what you would see a clown wear at a legitimate circus. And that's what they're out there wearing with their own little Juggalo take on it.
All they're missing
it's
is
entertaining as fuck to me.
All they're missing is Rocka Rocka. All they're missing is Rocka Rocka being the manager as Ronald McDonald to help him.
So that's and James can piggyback on anything else that he wants to. Anyone that wants to ask questions can ask questions. Nick can throw in his 2 cents about the main event because he joined us in time for the main event. But
yes,
I obviously didn't see any of the other action. So for me to call it the event of the week would be a disservice to the other shows.
Yeah.
But I will say that I'm glad I didn't miss today. Whereas I'm okay with having missed some of the other stuff. And whether I get to go back and rewatch it or I don't, so be it. But I'm glad I didn't miss the War Games match. I'm glad I was off for it today. And I'm glad I was in the remote location that I'm in, where the internet has actually held up all day. I've had no fucking glitches.
Yay!
So this needs to be the new go-to spot. But I'm glad that I was able to be part of it. And I'm more bummed now than I was at the outset that I'm going to miss part 2 tomorrow because I have to work.
Yeah.
Priorities over passions, got to make that money, got to do what you got to do. But having seen night 1, I really wish I could participate in night 2.
Night 2 looks like it's going to be a bang.
Because night 2 is going to be the go home. That's going to be YDNP trying to get their titles back. That's going to be Tremont singles. I've got the card right here. Give me uno momento.
Yes.
FE is going to defend his title against Man Like Doris. KJ Orso is going to go against Marcus Mathers. Joey Janela is going to go against Ryan O'Neal. Ryan O'Neal was one of the guys in the scramble, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers of Construction versus YDNP, as I mentioned. Bear Dozer is going to take on Emerson Jane and Shotzi Blackheart.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Lord.
Then you've got the serial killers, as James has dubbed them, Charles Mason, Cruel and Slade versus Vandal 48.
Yeah.
Atticus Otis Koger and Christian Napier. Or as they like to call them, Koger Hair, Koger Bald, and Cousin Koger.
Yes.
And then
Koger
you've got
trio.
Drew Parker versus Mr. Danger. Teammates tonight, adversaries tomorrow.
Mm.
So you've got all of those matches tomorrow, more matches than there were tonight because obviously War Games ate up a bunch of time. But I'm bummed I'm going to miss it. I'm definitely going to rewatch it when I get home from work tomorrow, but
yeah,
bummed I'm going to have to miss that shit. So,
all right, fair enough. Well, thank you for that.
Go ahead, James.
Go
Piggyback
ahead,
on anything that I missed on or that you want to add to it.
I think the only thing, did you run down who was in both teams or no? I think we did.
No, because I don't know if everybody is going to know everybody. So I just kind of hit the greatest hits there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
You know, Drew Parker and Mr. Danger aren't known by everybody, but I did just mention teammates tonight, adversaries tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think I got most of the greatest hits as far as Juggalo when Too Tough Tony was there, Cocaine, Madman Pondo, Willie Mack.
Yeah.
Violent J managed them ringside. His hair got caught on fire.
Oh yeah, he took
because of a
gnarly fire
meteorite from Tony.
Yeah, for those who don't know the meteorite. Yeah, for those who don't know the meteorite, just to put that and to piggyback off that real quick.
It's a flaming fist.
Yeah, he pours alcohol on his fist, lights it on fire, and basically does a Falcon Punch IRL. So
video game.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, that's kind of cool.
My favorite.
Brett Lauderdale came out to help Tremont get the dub because Violent J had gotten involved on behalf of the Juggalos. So Brett Lauderdale came out to represent his GCW team.
Damn.
You know, go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
No, that's it. That's all I had to say was about the meteorite.
Nick, did you have anything you wanted to add since you were there for the main event?
No, it was all good.
Ash and Noah, any questions you'd like to ask about the show?
No, I mean, again, it was a late night Saturday show. It sounded like full of violence, which what I love, and it seemed like it was a lot of fun. One of these days, I definitely need to venture into GCW more when I have time and I'm not calling something else because my contract has me calling the biggest shows and the stupidest services. But that's all right. It sounds like it was quite a blast. And again, you know how much I love matches that matter, especially when it comes to Violence and Destruction, whether it was Eldest Brown versus Jun Kasai, of course, and Thank goodness I met you. Ash, you know what I'm talking about. Whether or not it's blood and guts. I hope Sky Blue gets her wish, by the way. I hope that does involve fire. Anyway, with the women of AEW. And, of course, War Games. Well, that's a thing. It sounds like it was a lot of fun, and I do look forward to hearing more about GCW. I am curious, though, if YNDP are going to get the titles back. Because, again, I've known Young Thug and Broke since I first saw them wrestle back at Chaos Wrestling right here in Toledo, Ohio in 2018. So I'm extremely happy with how far both those young men and that group, for that matter, has come, especially Jordan Oliver. It sounds like, though, they got a different name based on what you just told me as well.
Yeah, Busta and the Brain they are now.
Well, yeah, Young, Dumb, and Broke was a different team. When Jordan Oliver came back and hooked up with Alec Price, formerly of the Garbage Daddies, they became Young, Dumb, and Price, YDNP instead of YDNB.
Yeah, I knew that under their previous name.
And then they started using the name Busta and the Brain about halfway through their run here. Definitely a Pinky and the Brain reference there. But all the flyers still said YDNP. So internally, the three of us were like, are they YDNP or are they Busta and the Brain? I believe it's just a matter of they won the titles as YDNP, so they kept with that marketing while they were champions.
Fair enough.
If they reclaim the titles tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised to see everything going forward marketed as Busta and the Brain.
And good luck, by the way, to Shotzi Blackheart and who's the other person that was in that?
Emerson Jane.
Yeah, Emerson Jane tomorrow because they got the work cut out for them. Shit. But sounds like some good stuff tonight. Sounds like some good stuff ahead. And overall, it sounds like it was quite a show. And the cage entices me. Thank you for that.
And just as a heads up, they will be coming to Columbus, Ohio in March, Noah, if you want to peep them live before Las Vegas.
Well, again, Las Vegas is still a yes or a no, and you'll learn my answer come December 31st. Prayers over passions, as I always like to say. And again, I don't know what's going to happen between here and now, God forbid. So we'll see. I figure for that. All right. Well, Ash, it just leaves you. So let's go ahead and close this thing out with you. Your thoughts, chores, what you heard tonight from GCW.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun watch whenever I get around to doing. So I grabbed a pen, wrote down some stuff. So yeah, I got some stuff to check out.
Good girl. I expect you to turn your homework assignment next weekend and give your oral report, and I will grade you on a 4-point rubric on how well you do as a wrestling analyst. Well said. All right. Well, that being said, folks, that does include all the wrestling this week that we have covered up to this point. So I figure without further ado, we will take our final commercial break to remind you not only what we're covering tomorrow with GCW and TNA about for what's ahead, and when we return, we will bid our farewells, do our plugs, do our shows, and bid y'all fine adieu. Unless you all dictate the conversation with Super Chats. You got 90 seconds to figure that out. We'll see you on the other side of this final commercial break. Yeah, Nick said it was all right. And I'm pretty sure that this will be all right, too. See y'all in 90 seconds.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And welcome back here to Saturday Shenanigans. We'll remind you here that some of our studios truly encompass, embrace, celebrate, engage, and react to all of the wrestling. And before we acknowledge the super chat from the VIP, the Dominguez, James, I did see your private message. So before you GTS, go ahead and tell other people can further engage and find you really doing dumb and cool things and covering GCW. Squeamish or not, we appreciate you. Can't hear you. You're muted. Botch.
Yes, while there's young, as you can tell, while there's young, dumb, and broke, I'm old, dumb, and tism. So there you go. Botch, eh? You guys can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and X at JHibertson95. On Facebook, JCB. On Dream and Dumb Teens on the internets. Go check out my uncle's documentary. Part 2 is up there. Reason why I'm going to bed early is because I need to wake up so I can keep editing. Try to get a rough draft done by Monday. It's going well. It's going great, and it will actually be done before the end of the year, and it'll actually be done before November. All things looking. So that means I'll be able to get the highlight reels done for the past 2 years of this show's existence. Yay! Lots of cool things to look forward to on the internet by yours truly. But until then, I will bid y'all a fine adieu. Good night, and record profits, stop releasing talent. Yeah, that stuff. Goodbye!
Goodbye and good night. Bang. All right. With that being said, then there were 4. All right. Well, before we continue, it looks like he is indeed going to try and continue the conversation. Emmanuel Dominguez is bringing us into overtime. This is not Samantha Night. This is the Saturday Shenanigans. Let's go ahead and talk about WWE's BS, shall we? Thoughts on WWE releases and more to come. Well, Lord knows, every time you think about it, the word budget cuts come into play, and the Evolve project seems like it's failing in hindsight because the releases I saw was Evolve and NXT. Stevie Turner, a couple of other names I have no idea about, etc. I do wish Stevie Turner is the absolute best. Wesley, oh yeah, that's right. Wesley was also brought up conversation by Walter, probably going to be in Bound for Glory, Call Your Shot Gauntlet. And maybe, I don't know. I mean, just released, so I guess he has no 90-day compete clause. So, I mean, he could be literally, I suppose, at TNA. But yeah, but outside that, the other names, And yeah, I do expect more to come because W is all about trimming the fat. It's as simple as that. This is what happens when you got more wrestlers than AEW, despite the fact they're overblown as well because neither company knows how to handle all that talent. And main event doesn't cut it, brother. Or speed. Okay, JJ, go ahead and lend your thoughts next towards this. What's your thoughts?
What releases?
Apparently,
I haven't heard. The only thing I heard about this week were the WWID contracts not being renewed for Zeta Steel, Kylie Ray, and I think Zara Zacher.
And I
heard
heard
about
Stevie
nothing.
Turner. I only heard about Stevie Turner, so that's why I'm like, yeah, don't surprise me. Releases, duh, this is the business, and WWE does it more than anybody quarterly. It is what it is in this industry, but it also goes to show WWE is not the end-all, be-all, or the only thing you need to survive in professional wrestling. Yeah, I expect more to come. It was probably they released more around Thanksgiving. Ash, your thoughts towards Stevie Turner, Wesley, apparently, the one that we mentioned for the WID. Go ahead and lend your 2 cents towards this, Canadian.
Usually when I find out about releases, the only thing I can do is hopefully they wherever they end up, hopefully they do well. Because I don't wish ill will on anyone. It's very sad when wrestlers lose their jobs, and hopefully they can find work elsewhere and they do better wherever they land. Because that's all you can hope for is hope for the best for the wrestlers.
Yeah, at the end of the day, a wrestler's a human being just like us trying to make a living, whether or not they're doing it with a family or want a family or even have a family with their own family. That's hindsight, to say the least. To all the releases, I wish all the best. Yes, I expect more to come. I'm sure that we'll have a breaking news session with a big marquee name, whoever that might be next. Because we all know, inevitably, it's going to happen because at the end of the day, that's what's best for business and a budget. All right, well, thank you for that, Emmanuel. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up here as we bid everyone a fine farewell, getting ready for Sunday's Bound for Glory. So once again, thank you all for tuning into another edition of Saturday Shenanigans to keep the conversation going. Nick, always a pleasure. I know you're tired. Go ahead and tell the people can find you.
Y'all can find me here on the Simply Reliable Studios, acting a fool as per usual.
When it's been anything less from you.
Noah, I will break you one day. I will break you.
I'm letting Rigo stoic. You only piss me off. You don't break me.
I will break you, sir. You can find me here doing all the watch-alongs. I'll probably be, it hasn't been set in stone yet, but I'll probably see you guys all for Wrestle Dream. I do want to plug one thing, if that's all right.
Go for it.
Tomorrow night, I believe it's at 8 p.m. We've got, to our dear friend, Mr. DJ, we've got Rockin' Ropes 100 tomorrow night.
Wow. Congratulations to our brother DJ of Rockin' Ropes.
Yes, sir. We got Rockin' Ropes 100 yesterday or tomorrow. JJ, we have to get ropes. We have to get ropes on the Shenanigans one night. That
See
would
what
be.
we can do. See what we can do.
We got to try. We need some Latino love up in here.
Latino love.
We need
Hey,
Latino
I don't
love.
know if the female fan base can handle his accent. I'm just saying. Ash has heard it. Ash has heard Ropes' accent. I don't know if our female fan base can handle that.
There's a reason why DJ calls him the co-host with the sexy voice. I'll just put it that way.
Hell yeah. But yeah, follow the boys there. Corny Fan 8786 and then 12 Ropes. Like I said, we got Rockin' Ropes 100 tomorrow night. It's gonna be fucking rad. And y'all can find me there. And yeah. We gotta come up with the next costume for next week.
Oh Jesus. He's gonna run out of ideas eventually. He's
He
gonna
called
have
you a banana. Why don't you dress up as a banana?
a banana.
Well, dude, it's early October. It's not like you can't go to the Spirit Halloween store in Canada, pick you up a costume, wear it, and then return it the next day.
No, I think we got some ideas cooking. It's so hard because we keep going and we don't have a break. And our first commercial.
What you should do is you should coordinate with Ash here, since y'all are a Canadian connection. And 1 week y'all do peanut butter and jelly.
Ooh, we'll figure it out.
Bloody hell. What a stupid annual way to spend your money. All right.
Do Jason and his mom, Chucky and Tiffany, something like, we got to coordinate y'all here.
Something! All right. Well, that being said, thank you for that, Nick. Okay. Well, my Canadian friend Ash, go ahead and tell where the people can find you.
You can find me on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, at ShadowBadAsh. Occasionally talking, mostly listening in on the spaces, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Batty for Wrestling. Don't be a dickhead.
All right.
And she was participating in the spaces yesterday. She was in there getting in some rants on Advocate's space.
Advocate
that
and I
was
became
definitely
friends.
something to Charles's comment here worth hearing. I had to point out to Advocate, if you get an Ash rant, consider yourself blessed.
There's two
she rarely speaks, let alone rants in his face.
Fair enough. Well, then again, as introvert antisocial, unless I'm really put into this for a position on the mic or calling a show, you don't hear an iota from me, especially on the X. So appreciate that. Yes, Ash.
Funny how you mentioned Advocate. There's Advocate and I became friends for two reasons. So it all started when he put up this was I forgot which Ring of Honor show it was, but I think it was the Ring of Honor show that had Bandito and Takeshita, and he had a space, and we were the only two on it, and we both became friends for two reasons: our love of New Japan and our hatred for Cody Rhodes.
Because he's not just Advocate, he's the advocate of Inokiism. That's his full name on it.
Yeah, that's what he's called on Twitter.
Yeah,
we
just call him Advocate for short.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I respect that. Now, that being said, why did my phone ping? What the hell?
You got a PayPal?
Arlene Dominguez.
Oh, here we go. She wants to get Noah's blood boiling.
Speaking of rant, it's rant time, baby. Let's go.
With a $25 super chat.
God damn, she wants a good rant then. Okay.
$25 super chat. Jeez.
Rant about Asuka and how TNA. What my phone freaking's fading out because my phone. What the hell? Oh my gosh. Rant about Asuka and how TNA is better than NXT in the women division. Really?
For $25, I'm giving you the solo shot here, sir.
No, what? No, what?
Right,
No, what?
Right. You really want to know what I think about Asuka and TNA versus NXT in the modern day? You really want to know what I think about that? Okay, I'm just gonna put it simply like this: Asuka, undefeated Empress of NXT. Why the fuck is she nothing but a mortal on the freaking main roster, fed to a freaking prima donna, porcelain platinum queen with a bad fucking knee? Hasn't been the same since WrestleMania 37 and beyond, and WrestleMania 34 before that. Freaking losing and losing and losing and losing. Can't win on the grandest stage of them all. Can't hold a title for her damn life. Relegated nothing more but an angry Japanese that's not telemarketing you about some cheap-ass rice cooker. And now we're supposed to believe that WWE's capable of Crunchyroll anime, strong-style emotional storytelling. Give me a fucking break. And don't get me started on the aspect of women's wrestling in NXT and TNA when it comes to TNA, who's had the most predominant alternative women's division since 2008, and they're fucking it over in 2025 using NXT former cast-offs as current knockouts. Are you kidding me? Rosemary, Killer Kelly, Danny Luna, Jody Fett, Zion Brookside. There's a reason why Gail Kim was let go from TNA, because WWE does not care about TNA. WWE only cares about themselves. They are burying an identity. They are turning an alternative into a similarity. That's all I got to say about that. Okay.
All right. So the only thing I can add to that is, Noah, you claim that you are not meme worthy. Go back and watch that rant, because your feed was freezing at the worst possible moments, creating all kinds of different memes.
I screenshotted
I did
one.
not screenshot anything yet. But go back and watch that rant and look at how you freeze framed on some of that stuff. And then come back to me and say that you're not meme worthy. Because you saw Ash cover her mouth when I said that. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. There were some good meme worthy screenshots there.
JJ, I'll send you a picture. I screenshotted one.
I'm sure you did.
JJ,
I didn't screenshot nothing. I didn't screenshot nothing. Yeah.
All right. Oh, keyword freaking yet. About to say, Arlene, thank you for that. I will put it to good use. And again, I always gotta freaking raise my blood pressure for the people. Got to give the people what they want. And my insanity and my passion and my hatred towards freaking piss poor booking across WWE, NXT, and freaking TNA turning into freaking NXT lights.
Hey, you got to give the people what they want. And next week is karaoke.
Ooh.
The music of Weird Al. Coming off of Wrestle Dream with karaoke.
You're lucky I'm calling wrestling before that. I might be in a terrible mood.
That's
All right.
exactly why we booked it then. Because we knew coming off of Wrestle Dream, you'd be in a good mood. You'd be happy. You saw good wrestling, AEW. That's professional wrestling, damn it. Then we go into karaoke.
Bloody hell.
Noah's second favorite pastime.
Next!
And the music of Weird Al. Like, I look. As much as you hate karaoke sometimes, I can't see you having a bad time with Weird Al. Be real with me right now. Like, you're gonna have fun with some Weird Al. Just say it. Like, it's not like I'm forcing you to do Disney or some other stupid shit that we come up with sometimes. Who here can legitimately hate on Weird Al Yankovic?
Fine. We'll see
I'm
what
just saying. And especially for this bunch of misfits, like Weird Al is perfect for our shenanigans. I'm just saying.
All right, fine. We'll see what happens. God, fucking hell. I thank goodness.
So everybody, make sure you save your paychecks, your tips, whatever, for karaoke next Saturday, so that this man will have to sing the music of Weird Al Yankovic.
People too busy spending $300 on a fucking inflatable pumpkin and skeleton for that shit. All right, moving on. Well, thank you again, Arlene, for that. Thank you, JJ, for that little programming note. And thank you once again, Simply Liable Studios, Shenanigans, for reminding me exactly why the fuck I sometimes hate the freaking company that's supposed to be the main feed on professional wrestling. Damn it. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to the plugs. Thank you, by the way, Ash, for your plug. While JJ talk about programming notes, let's talk about JJ plugging for himself and further content to come, as well as discussions. JJ, where can the people find you? Appreciate you always. Still, fuck you for that perfect score.
You can find me on Instagram at the Renegade JJ Williams, YouTube, of course, Casa D18 Studios, X, ROWJJ Williams, and Casa D18 Studio. No S at the end of the X. Casa D18 Studios, where you'll usually find me participating in the spaces. Don't forget to check out and follow us on the X as well at SR Studios 2024. That is where you can vote in the year-end awards. PPV PLE of the year will close tomorrow. At some point tomorrow, or maybe Monday, just because me being in parts unknown, the next category will go up. But you can also vote in the which other category is it that's up right now? I've got two categories going because of how I stagger the dates.
I think it was theme song.
No, that one already closed.
That one closed?
Finisher of the year. That's the other one that's up right now.
Okay.
Finisher of the year is the newest one to go up. So that one still has a couple of days on it. But PPV PLE of the year closes tomorrow. So if you want to vote, that's where you go. Follow us, get your votes in. And then the next one will be going up probably Monday morning.
All right. Well, thank you for that, JJ. And again, shout out to everyone here at Sumo Studios. Mr. Reliable went GTS, but please follow Mr. Reliable's Walter Cruz at Rage of Wrestling. Get a guy bueno. Let's give him 300 for the expense of his liver, as he's willing to take Hot Shots chicken wings if he reaches that goal, as he's already on his way towards WrestleMania weekend next year in Las Vegas, courtesy of a promise made to him. Again, Arlene, you got a rant out of me, as you always do, out of nowhere. But again, we appreciate you. I hope it was worth everything that you've given me, because I try to do my best, even at the expense of my own blood pressure. Thank God I'm seeing my cardiologist next month. Find Arlene Emmanuel Dominguez in and out of our studios on screen, predicting, and also on the chat, and also on the X and on Instagram at the following taglines, as always. I also want to give a shout out to Jeff motherfucking Meacham with the relaunch of the Jeff Meacham Network next year, of course. That is January 4th. Follow him on all the feeds, and a special program note regarding Survivor Series. We'll be doing a Survivor Series countdown show of our own. That's Saturday, November 29th, 2 to 5 Eastern Standard Time, featuring live performances from, of course, a great friend of Survivor Studios family, Jeff Meacham, Ariel. So stay tuned for more on that. If people want to further engage with me, whether or not I ran, I'll tell you about me here a little bit more, because I'm going to acknowledge everyone here at Survivor Studios, because that's what I do. Shout out to my TNA faithful, Nola, Mighty Morphin, Pink Power Ranger friend Attila, and thank you, by the way, Attila, for the ESPN assistance. As it was for you, I was able to cover Crown Jewel from Simple Lab Studios this morning. Follow the two when it's wrestling time at Rangers of Wrestling on the social medias. She'll soon be playing some Power Rangers games as well through her Switch on the Twix. So stay tuned for more on that. The original Big Baller, Big G, who's always late working and sleeping. Follow him on the social medias that you see right there. The original Big G, the OBG1, not that Aussie ripoff who can't even get booked on the main roster, it seems. But I guess he's more over than Austin Theory. Sorry, not sorry, but it also is accurate. And again, if you want to follow me, here's where you can find me, when I'm ranting, when I'm predicting, when I'm commenting, when I'm covering, etc. Find me if you choose in Foster916 on the X and on YouTube when I'm actually there. And in Foster916 for all things wrestling. Shout out to the AEW family, because I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! Of course, I'll be with Walter Cruz tomorrow night covering TNA Bound for Glory. Then I have predictions post-mortem with Papadino. After I'm on the Noti Crew review this Tuesday, that'll be Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for predictions post-mortem regarding WWE Crown Jewel. Next week, Thursday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, will be Wrestle Dream, simply predicting. So join me there as the All Elite League continues. There's only 2 events left after this as we preview and discuss AEW Wrestle Dream live. That is again 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Thursday regarding after Impact Wrestling on all the feeds here at the Super Live Studios. Of course, all are invited. And again, I am also doing a special programming note after Bound for Glory. My voice be damned. I am covering King of Pro Wrestling live. NJPW King of Pro Wrestling, where we look at the future of the Alpha versus the front man and the IWGP World Championship on the road to Wrestle Kingdom 20. As King of Pro Wrestling shapes a lot of that, as you know, Ash. And why me and Ash did not give you a simple chat and Ash's chat on your YouTube channel with a preview, we will at some point be doing a review. So please stay tuned for Barry for Wrestling, where me and Ash once again engage on a chat regarding what we see and what happens at King of Pro Wrestling as we head closer towards Wrestle Kingdom 20. And that's all I gotta say for now regarding everything that I have ahead and everything we do at the Simple Hour Studios. But as always, I'd like to conclude, there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no bears, just fans on opinions with this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It is truly as simple as that. But with that being said, thank you so much once again for tuning in to another rousing edition of the Saturday Shenanigans. I thank all of you, as always, on behalf of the Super Live Studios family, as you all continue to make the passion persistent. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Tell a friend, subscribe, particularly to Rage Wrestling and Bag for Wrestling. Hit the bell, the video goes live on demand, and the channel to the Super Live Studios. Hit the subscribe button. I show you the content, the creativity, the ranting, and the absolute madness I endure when I'm hosting, moderating, or participating. It's not going to let up anytime soon. And that's it for us. So again, on behalf of everybody, I bid you a fine adieu. So until next time, for Walter Cruz, for James Ebert, for Arlene Dominguez, who contributed with a super chat, as well as Mario Dominguez, for everyone in the chat, for Nicholas Ferrantes, for Ash, far more elegant, our Canadian friend Ash, the Canadian connection, and for the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, I am the simple man, Noah Foster, who wants to always close and reminding you, make a positive impact in life, and have a good night, and thank you once again for tuning in to another edition of the Saturday Shenanigans. Have a good night, folks, and enjoy our coverage of GCW and TNA Bound for Glory. See
Let's
you
go,
next
Blue
week.
Jays!
That's a whole different type of former sport that I have no say in, but whatever. All right, I'm hitting the button. Thank you, everybody. Nice job, panelists, and thanks, Arlene, for raising my blood pressure, probably by 15 points. Good night, everybody.